Welcome to Liverpool, Nova Scotia, Eastern Canada. Just a short swim across the pond from Europe. Young athletes from all over the world gather here this week at this quaint community. It will find itself a bit busier, a bit crowded for the days to come. The modern facility of Queen's Place Emirates Centre is the host of this year's World Junior Curling Championships 2019. On our broadcast this evening, Canada plays USA in the second session of the women's competition. To give you the play-by-play, myself, Sander Log, and I'm joined by 2010 World Junior Silver medalist Laura Walker. Good evening.
Good evening.
Line up for Team Canada at lead, Paige Papley. At second, Kate Goodhelpson. At third, we have Abby Marks. And skip is Selena Sturmey.
Oh, no.
And Team USA this evening, we have lead Rebecca Miles. Second, Lexi Lanigan. At third stones, we have Leah Yavaro. And led by skip, Kate Flannery.
So these are all the teams in the women's competition this week. We'll see China, Russia, Scotland, Switzerland and USA all picking up a win in the first women's session. Canada, Japan, Korea, Norway and Sweden make out the 10 teams. Those last 5 yet to pick up a win, but so many more games to come and a few this evening. Elsewhere in the arena, we have a few games, Laura.
We do. On sheet A, we have Russia taking on Japan. On sheet C, Korea is playing Scotland. Sheet D, Switzerland and Norway. And over on sheet E, we have Sweden and China.
So both the teams, Canada and USA, being honored here in the arena. Played both the anthems. Received some gifts from the local organizing committee.
Thank you.
Just a great way to kick off this evening's game.
We gotta go down there. I can take it.
Let's go, Canada!
And the fans are pretty close to the ice, just behind the scoreboard in the away end. There's a room for fans to gather around with a beverage.
Yeah, and to
cheer on
have
their
a couple
team.
drinks. That's the big thing about being down there. I'm sure the parents will have fun with that.
So you see the teams just making their final preparations. Of course, they've had their pre-game practice and their last stone draw as well.
Canada had a fabulous last stone draw. Both of their rocks, each team throws one rock with the clockwise rotation and one rock with the counterclockwise rotation, and both of those rocks for Team Canada actually covered the pin. So pretty tough for Team USA to beat. Their draw wasn't too bad, but not good enough to beat the fabulous draw by Team Canada.
It's really heavy. Oh, that's cute. I don't need a gripper. I need my yellow boy. I'm gonna give you trash. Thanks.
Okay, we have 10 seconds.
Not saying anything, shall we? We gotta stand on the other side.
You know, we can stand on this side now, but
You got 6 seconds. You got
sounds
it.
good. So try and walk ice side.
Ice side,
Yeah.
side.
Or you just go.
Hey boys, we're a minus.
Who'd have thought?
No way.
All right, let's get her to eat. I had to think about that. I was like,
So now the teams have just made their very, very final preparations, and the first stone is underway here. We'll see USA playing the yellow stones. Canada will throw the red, matching their uniforms, and the flag, of course.
Starting to go now.
Be easy to follow.
Yep, starting to go.
USA with their light tops matching the light colors of the handles,
Yep, just Lex. Yep, just
just
Lex.
to make it all easier for everyone to follow.
14
As this stone finds its way into that very nice tartan forfeit that we see here in Liverpool.
The houses here in Liverpool are very representative of the culture and the heritage here in Nova Scotia. Even the hog lines have a bit of tartan in them as well.
I did notice that last night, so keep a key eye on that as we see Paige Papley go for the open hit on that first stone that was played by Rebecca Miles of USA. So we might just see a bit of an open first end here.
That might change if one of the teams rolls out here with these takeout attempts, but as long as they keep sticking around, you can expect to see the other team continue to hit.
9-5, go down.
Team Canada will hope for a blank here.
No, 9-5. 9-3. Yep. 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 9-6. Right down to it. Yep. Hey, Lex, come here for a sec. Pardon? Come here. Okay, I'll try to throw a little more. Oh, we're tight. Medium. Pull. Medium.
Paige thought she might have been a little tight on her slide there. Looks like she's got it back to the broom on her release.
Yep. 9-6. Play to use. 9-5. 9-5. You got it. 9-5.
Lexi Lanigan
9-5.
throwing the second stones for
9-5.
USA from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
A little up. Okay.
Not sure what came first, the city or the sport. She lives in Minneapolis.
Medium.
And here's
Medium.
Kate Kid-Helpson.
Medium down. Little down. Little down. Clean. Whoa, whoa. Pretty good medium. Yeah. Good.
Has represented Canada at the World Juniors before, just 2 years ago at the Olympic venue in Gangneung, South Korea. Picked up a bronze medal.
Your last night was good, so just slow down a little bit out here.
Be nice to have the experience of Kate on the team out there, helping keep them calm, having been there before.
Yeah, of course, being the juniors, most athletes here this week haven't really played at a big championship before, so you'd think that would really help, just knowing how everything
10.
is at these tournaments.
9-9.
It's a huge benefit, not just, you know, out here on the ice while they're in the middle of a game, but preparing for the event, their preparations before they came here. Kate would have been a big help, even just with little things on what to pack and what to bring and what to expect. That helps take a lot of stress off the shoulders of the other players getting ready.
Little down. Line's good. Little down. Up high. Up high. Line's good. Up.
Got nothing in play, so a chance for Canada to throw a corner guard here. Maybe try and score a soft 2, meaning maybe score 2 points without taking any risk.
Yeah, because Team USA rolled out on that last hit there, it gave them the opportunity to throw this corner guard without much else in play. Low risk. Make Team USA make a precise peel in the first end here while they're still learning the ice. You never know. If they leave a guard sticking around, Team Canada can use that then to try to go for a 2. Looks like this one is running straight as well.
Well, that's an early mistake from Leah Guevara from Bemidji, Minnesota. And a chance for Canada to utilize that corner guard.
It's a great opportunity for Canada. And again, pretty low risk. Selena's got the out-turn side to draw to if she does get in trouble behind this corner guard. But if they can put this in front of the T-line, great opportunity for Canada.
Abby Marks,
Close down. Wait a little down.
19 years old.
Top 8.
Still a bit of time left in the juniors.
Switch. Top 8. Top 4. T. Top 4 T. You got to finish.
Abby's a student at the University of Alberta along with the rest of these girls, so I imagine she'll be part of the university program for a while. The University of Alberta does an incredible job with their development and their players at this age. They've had a lot of players at Canadian and World Championships over the last few years.
What? You just gotta stay on it over there. I don't mind just going for the peel. How much can you see of it? Well, there. I mean, if you rub the guard. Okay. Semi? Yep. Hack. Point. Point. Yep. 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 Yep.
Well, it's going to make up for that first mistake with a really nice controlled takeout here. Sneaks past that guard. Rolls towards the center line.
Great shot by Leah. You heard her from the hack say, why don't we just go for the peel? But Skip Kate had a good point, and you might as well go for the one in the back. And if you end up taking the top one and making the peel, then that's their
Medium.
plan B.
Little up.
She made it perfectly.
Medium up. Lead up. Yep. Forward. 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 Go, 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 go. Hard. Line 3. Okay.
Pretty good attempt there at the roll.
Get there, Abby.
It stays a bit more open this time.
Okay. From 5. Hard roll.
Yeah.
Son. Sorry, I got you off a bit too soon. Last and last.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay.
Just saw the same shot coming down here from her third. Should have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, you can see she's opened the broom up a little bit. She's going to try to roll this one a little bit further away so that the hit and roll back under that corner guard is a little more difficult for Selena. And if she makes the roll, she'll be behind the tee line.
Crossboard. Close off. Whoa.
Kate Flannery has a bit of experience
Yep.
at championships. Played the Youth Olympic Games back in 2016, playing lead for the American mixed team as they made it to the final. Just losing out to Canada. But a lot of the Youth Olympic athletes from that year here this week.
Fantastic to have the Youth Olympics now. I think that's such a great experience for these young players.
I think you straightened it here. Okay. Oh, was that 4? 7. Okay.
Medium.
Okay.
Just try and roll it towards Kate.
Okay.
Our first look at Selena Sturmey.
Good, medium. Yep. Clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Medium. Little up. Yep. Yep. Forward. Hard. Forward. Yeah. Sorry. Good. 9-8.
We'll make the hit and stick.
That's exactly what Selena was trying to do. She didn't want to roll that one behind the corner guard and risk getting forced. She wanted to keep the play away from that guard and hopefully leave herself a wide open blank.
Okay. I just said, like, jump. Yeah, no. I did that too on pages. Yeah. It's definitely curling more than it was, though.
Stay close.
Just
9-5. Whoa, clean. Better work. Close. Clean. 9-5. Clean. 9-6. Yep. Whoa. Yep. 9-8. Yep. Whoa. Roll center. Just a little roll. Yep. Good. Nice shot, Kate.
Takes a tiny roll into the forefoot.
9-8.
Call made very quickly by the Canadian skip to just peel this rock, blank the end.
That little roll by Kate at least changes the look of things for skip Selena Sturmey. Not the exact same spot she just threw.
with the 9-9, I think, come back to hold up.
Solid throw here.
Yep.
Keeping it clean. Looks pretty good. Now we'll hit and run. Black first end. No score. About 9 ends to go here in Liverpool. Lots of curling still to be played this evening.
I really had too much room for you, I think. I'll probably give you guys tight ice, I think, for any peels.
Yeah.
Right on the edge. We can always back them out or hold them straight.
We're gonna see our
Okay.
Let's go. Get our 2.
Line's good, wait only.
7, 6,
Running.
6,
Starting to curl now. Lexi's rock still.
It's all there.
6.
It's all there.
Okay. Yeah, 14-8. Sorry, 14-6.
14-8
It was 14-5.
is a number we can hear the Americans say. What does that even mean, Laura?
That's the time between the hog lines. So they'll have a stopwatch out there and they'll start it when it reaches the first hog line and stop it when it reaches the second hog line. And that's the amount of time it's taken to go between those two hog lines. So 14.8 is a pretty quick speed of ice, especially considering the sweepers barely touched that one. So we have excellent ice conditions here from John Wall and his ice crew in Liverpool.
USA coming into the house. Not sure if they were wanting to bring that into the house. Of course, not sitting in the free guard zone. Canada has the opportunity to hit it. Thought maybe they would throw a corner. Was it maybe just because the shot was so well placed by US?
I think what you see a lot of teams do now with this 5-rock rule is they'll have, if there's a rock placed as perfectly as USA was in that full 4-foot top of the button area, you might see them try a hit and roll away on the first one to bring the play away from the middle, and then they can throw a corner guard on the second one because they get that extra guard with the 5-rock rule. So that might have been what Selena was attempting there, but just rolled out with the first one, giving USA a chance to put it back in here.
Yeah, I like that tactic if your opponent comes into the house, hit and check the wing. We've seen open ends before this week, but we haven't seen then the corner bin thrown on the next one. But
Maybe a little fresh, because I don't think we threw wings back.
Yeah, Selena is throwing the corner guard here, and the difference between throwing it now and on the rock before is that now they'll only be able to guard a single rock in the rings. Had she thrown the corner guard on the first one, it just gives an opportunity for the United States to throw a lot more junk in the middle and make it more difficult on Selena. A little bit easier to deal with a single rock in the 4-foot on a single guard than maybe 2 guards or 2 rocks in the rings. And of course, with the 5-rock rule, the U.S. can't peel this rock just yet.
no, but the center guard from the USA, if they choose to play it, Canada can actually make a play on it.
Exactly.
Right, so it's all thought out.
I would imagine Selena and her team have a pretty good game plan. They've probably talked about all the situations and know exactly what they're going to do.
Lines very tight. 3. Lines tight.
2, 3,
3.
We're definitely
3, 4. Okay.
Some other numbers we hear here. 2,
We
3,
can
4.
do it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The zone system, so 3 would be a tight guard and 4 would be just into the rings. It's a little bit even deeper than they expected. That's more like a 6, which would be the top of the 4-foot.
Bill Rhyme is coach of Team USA. Of course, on the left, Anne Swisshelm. I've seen her a few times over the years.
What a great person to have on the bench for USA with her experience.
Follow a fellow commentator as well for World Curling TV.
Whoa. Yep.
Sorry, that's my bad. 9-4.
Can you hear us?
So that guard from USA just slipping into the
I
rings.
just have to.
As we see
Did you say Oklahoma?
Amanda Dawn Sangler in.
That's the good laugh.
Uh,
I'm the happy coach.
9-3.
She's always quite chipper.
She is. Amanda Dawn's been a longtime coach of these young teams that come out of the University of Alberta. So she's been here at the Worlds a couple of times with Kelsey Rock's team, Kristen Streiffel's team as well. So she's definitely been around with these teams.
I think she has a good knack of spreading positivity
She does.
around.
I have 8-3.
And I think that's super important for younger women of this age too. She really knows how to talk to them. She knows how to deal with them. She knows how to keep everyone positive when she needs to. And at these major championships, when these girls get nervous, that can be just as important, if not more so, than any other curling knowledge she can bring.
Line's good. Reach close
Oh,
down.
unfortunate. USA ends up doubling out the stones, rolling out.
Room.
That just leaves that corner guard.
Switch. Just top 8.
Top 8. Top 4.
Hard page. Top 4. Hard page.
Really needs to curl here.
Hard. Right back. Go.
14-9. I just need less ice for her. I just need less ice for her race. I just didn't hear you.
All but edge.
So a good throw by
That's
Kate.
fine.
Selena saying that she just needs to give a little bit
Do you like throwing half?
less ice with the way that
Sure.
Kate's throwing it today. That's a good thing to pick up on as a skip.
Yeah. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Yep, all the way left.
Yep. Hard.
All the way.
Yep. Hard all the way. Hard.
11.
Whoa.
Got it?
Yep.
Makes a nice
Right there,
hit and
fine.
check
That's fine.
to the other side here.
10-9.
11-1.
Yeah, just a hair up. That's good though, actually.
Very similar.
It's like your draw to the pin, too.
Another
Little
chance
less
to bury around this corner guard for Team Canada. See if they can bury this one just a little bit more than Kate's last.
Looks like yours.
Line's good. Wait's close.
A left-hander. So
We're like top 4.
throwing her out turn
Top 8. Yep.
might run a bit straighter than most right-handed players in turn.
It could, yeah, that's often a
Top 8.
pattern that you see with left-handed versus right-handed players, but I'm sure Selena's got a pretty good grasp of how Abby's rocks will run in comparison to the rest of the teams.
15-9. Okay.
It's a little bit light there, as I think the reason they got a bit of extra curl.
We just lost the wall.
10.
Okay. Can you jump it?
Yep, all the way left.
Yep. Hard all the way. Yep. Yep. Hard.
9-7.
Little. That's fine. Great sweep.
Did you hear me say?
Medium.
Medium for this team would be about a normal weight takeout, what a lot of teams would call 9.5 sort of weight.
No will. 9-8. That's good. You want to go towards boards?
I'm
Yeah, like going towards boards. Okay. A 10? Yeah.
You got it.
I like just center.
Okay.
10. A little roll. Okay. What was the last? 10 down, 10-3.
Nice hit and stick. USA
I think
lies
that's why it started to really
2.
curl. Yeah. Great sweep backs.
Kind of a decision time here for Canada. Either play a double or play a draw.
The trouble with the draw is that I'm not sure you can be fully buried behind that red rock and still be shot over the rock that's in the back of the 8-foot. So that's likely playing into Selena's decision to, I believe, play the double.
Could you draw around the top yellow?
You certainly could. You could draw to the back of and freeze to where that back yellow rock is that we're looking at here. The issue with that is that you might be forced. If you make the perfect freeze and USA puts another freeze on top of you, now you're forced. So I think Selena's thinking to keep the blank alive with this call.
Close. Firm. Close.
A Sandra Schmerler Foundation scholar.
Yes, Selena is, and the Sandra Schmerler Foundation just does great work all across Canada, but provides scholarships to a few young curlers across the country. Selena lucky enough to be a recipient of one of the scholarships with the Sandra Schmerler Foundation. And today is actually Telethon Day with the Sandra Schmerler Foundation at the Scotties. So if you're feeling so inclined to donate to Sandra Schmerler, who the foundation provides equipment and help to premature babies and what they need at hospitals. So it's just a great foundation, and it's Telethon Day at the Scotties.
Just top 12, even top 8. Okay.
Double doesn't come off for Selena. A great chance for USA to put another stone in the house.
Yeah. Even 405, we can definitely get you there.
412, half on 8.
Trying to get that force we were speaking of.
Kate's trying to put this in a spot where Selena can't make a nose hit and be shot, forcing her to play a draw against 2.
Hot guys. Well, leave it be then.
Running. Just 4. Just 4. Okay. Yep, gotta go down. Where? 3, 4. 15.
Just wanting this top 12, so
Yep.
It's here.
Canada
Just
can't
here.
make the nose hit for the 1. I think that probably just enough. That's perfect spot, really.
It's in a great spot. It's a little bit in Selena's eye for this draw as well, but shouldn't be an issue.
15. What? 15, 6.
Yeah, they brought it as close to that forfeit as possible just to cut down the scoring area
That was
for
like
Selena Stormé.
It was like sweeping the whole way.
Okay.
Really well judged by the sweepers there. Those are tough to judge. A little bit further and they would have left her a nose hit, so well done by them.
Wait, close.
Line's pretty good.
I know we're pretty
Hold close.
We're like back 4. How back?
Back 4.
Yeah, it's all there. Back 8? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then.
Not
if it's
sounding
back,
great
you gotta
here.
go for back 8.
Well,
Pretty close.
either sweep it onto the back yellow or hope that it stops in time. Starting to settle. Just beyond the tee line. I think that's going to be enough. Just good enough for the 1 there. Slight panic. But the single for Team Canada. They lead it 1-0 after 2 ends of play
That's why.
here in Nova Scotia.
That side.
Until it hits the center line and then it dies up.
Well, they were saying back 8 the whole way.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was still 14-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 13-9 should
I
be
mean,
in between back and back line. Because you guys said it was like, and they're calling back 4, back 8 the whole way.
Lots of room.
Hold off.
Wait,
Room. I think you're up.
Switch.
Top four.
Switch.
We're here right now.
Top
four. Whoa. 14-7.
1-0 the score for Canada.
She's just fighting wide side on that O-turn right now.
So they'll come into the rings here with the first one. All feedback from the skipper. Just a bit wide on the out turns from Paige Papley.
Okay, never mind.
So either adjust the throw or adjust the ice.
Yeah, I think the sweepers will want to be pretty clear with Paige there, and Paige might just want to go have a quick chat with Selena after her second rock and decide between the two of them, is Paige going to change the way she's throwing, or is Selena going to change the broom? So you would hate to have a double correction where Selena tightens her up and then Paige also lines up a little bit more to the tight side and then ends up over curling.
Gotta go a little. Yeah, gotta go a little. Can. Go right there. Okay, that's okay. I shot back. I don't know.
Do you want to hit volley?
Corner guard is up.
I thought you threw it here.
I agree. Just top 8.
Okay.
Because that rock of Team Canada is not in a great position to guard, Selena's just going to throw a second one into the rings.
I think they're putting the broom down where they thought she threw it.
Which is good feedback.
Line's good.
Yeah, roll it. Top 12, top 8.
Line's good.
Tight.
Top full. Get it biting.
Hayden.
$16-2.
Not too threatened by those red stones here. USA will ignore them and come straight around that corner. It's pretty tight to the rings though. Gonna have to navigate pretty closely to get fully buried.
8, 9. We have 2
There's a lot more.
The key to getting fully buried there is to use your sweepers and let them maneuver it a little bit at the end, but looks like she might be all there by herself.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Yep. We're back to our 4.
Just trying to bring it deep here to get it buried.
That's good.
Pretty good draw. It is a under 21 competition, the World Juniors.
Cage is tight.
But I believe there's been some changes in Canada in terms of ages and
Line's good.
who goes when.
Yes, Canada just announced a few changes to their system with the juniors, and the main reason for those changes was the length of the season in particular. For junior teams that didn't win their provincial championship, their season was essentially done on January 1st, and that's a pretty short season for them considering a lot of clubs don't even get their ice until October. So to help with development and help with a bit of scheduling things, Curling Canada has decided to make the Canadian junior champion go to the Worlds in the following year. So currently, Selena would have just won the Canadian juniors a few weeks ago, and now she's here at the World. So in coming years, next year will remain the same, but the following year, the winners of the Canadian juniors will go to the Worlds a full year later, and that'll allow Curling Canada to move the date of the juniors into March. So that just extends the season of the juniors. It'll also allow juniors to play in men's and women's playdowns, which right now they can't do because of the conflicts as they get to the higher levels.
Sounds pretty good.
Think so. Next year will be the only year that it's a little bit different because that'll be the off year. So the winner of the Canadian Junior next year will go right to the World Juniors, and the runner-up of the Canadian Juniors, as long as 3 of 4 of their players are eligible, that team will go to the Worlds the following year. If 3 of 4 players are not age eligible to go to the Worlds the following year, Curling Canada will then select a team from the playoff picture at those Canadian Juniors to represent Canada at the World Juniors. So that's how they've decided to select in the off year. And then after that, we'll be fully into the new system.
You got this down.
Are you confused yet?
I was a little bit. the first time I heard it, but now I'm getting it now. But it sounds like just trying to untangle a very busy schedule. Seemed like a lot of stuff was happening in March.
Absolutely,
Trying
yes.
to spread it around a little bit.
It will affect a few juniors as far as age eligibility because, of course, to play in the Canadian juniors, you'll have to be eligible to go to the Worlds in the following year. So it does cut that age back a little bit, but it only really affects players born in January to June of the age eligible year. Depends on the year, what year that would be, but essentially cuts out 6 months of age eligibility for junior players.
Switzerland's been doing similar things in recent years, where the winner of the junior national plays the Worlds the next year. That way they also receive some funding, and they're followed up, and they basically get to train and prepare for a full year.
That's another great thing about the way that they're doing this now, is it's such a great opportunity for these junior teams to, you know, work with coaches and get some support from Curling Canada and, you know, essentially be Team Canada for a full year. Just going to really help with their preparation and show them what, you know, being a top team at that level for a full year is all about.
Like T-line?
I put one on the backboard, just grab it when you're done.
Like Line's good. Back 4. Little up, we're up. Like back 8. Back 4, back 8. Back 8.
Line's good.
Back 8.
A little bit heavy from Abby Marks here.
Whoa, line's good.
Trying to come around their own red. Freeze to the back yellow. Looking pretty good now, though. That is a
Really good.
peach of a draw.
It's very nicely done. Great weight control from Abby. Seems like Team Canada is really getting this ice figured out.
4-0. Just freeze.
Okay, there.
Line's good.
Yeah.
Lots of room. Lots of room. 6. Gotta come a lot. 4, 5. 4. Lexi. 4, 5. No, Becca, stay on it. 5. Yep, Lex. Yep, gotta go. Yep, hard, gotta go for line.
Hard. Okay, good sleep.
15-3.
Wasn't enough to get second shot, so Selena will have
This way
to
with easy.
deal with that one. Potential jam at the back.
Easy. Okay.
Easy up. Clean. Easy up.
It's a little tricky to throw these shots when you know there's a jam in play. Easy to think,
Easy up.
don't jam. Or you think,
It's really good.
I'm definitely not going to think not jam. And so you end up erring on one side, but
Can you hear us?
she throws a pretty good one there. Does just slightly jam, but just removes that yellow.
Yeah, in that case, Abby, I guess, didn't have that in her head, but what you'll often see when there's a potential jam is protecting against that. So if you can't overcurl, you know, you might throw it a little bit wide and hit it high side to make sure you avoid the jam. So it's important for teams and players just to think about making the shot and not missing the shot. That's what leads to a lot of half shots and failing to put pressure on the other team.
Definitely some pressure on USA right here. A lot of reds in the house. Lucky for them, it's pretty open. There's no center guards. But quite like to just open it up a bit here. Nice double by Leah.
Medium. I kind of.
That's a little.
Oh,
There's a little.
Nose is fine too. Okay.
Medium.
Okay. Okay.
Roll just to the other side of center line.
Okay. Okay.
Medium.
Whoa. Whoa.
Good medium.
Clean. Whoa. It's not bad. We're good. Okay.
Will make the nose hit.
I have a real bad bump on my hair. You can barely see it.
Sorry,
Honestly.
I know.
I
I release.
Selena was trying to roll that one a little bit more towards center so that there was less of a target for the USA to roll behind. By leaving that one there, it makes you can see how many rocks are there on the left-hand side of the sheet. She'll have quite a bit to roll behind there.
Weight. Okay. 10. Yep.
Cool.
Go hard for the roll. Want to be kind of behind the second red so that they can't run us back. Okay. Straight.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So looking to maybe overroll this almost.
Yeah, then that angle is no good for Team Canada to make a little run back. That was why it was so key to roll back to the center line. Then she could use those red rocks no matter where USA rolled.
Whoa!
Yep.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Let's see. Hard.
10-4.
It doesn't quite roll far enough and actually leaves a roll back for Canada.
I was waiting for it to jump. Sorry.
That's okay.
Just talking about the ice conditions there. Expecting that spot to jump on them a little bit, but ran quite straight.
Inside out.
Can't really roll.
Tough to judge sometimes.
Is that what you're thinking of?
I'm just gonna
Only
do
has
it
to
like
curl
too.
another inch maybe.
No, they're
Be
not
perfect.
breaking the size there.
Okay.
Hit and rolls are very difficult shots, I would say. Aside from maybe the dead-on perfect freeze, they're the hardest shot in curling. So it's a kind of a lesson for a lot of younger teams.
Easy, good easy.
You often hear them say, but we leave the hit and roll, but we leave the hit and roll. The hit and roll is made perfectly a very low percentage of the time, as we're seeing here.
Hard on anything.
Roll it. Anything.
This one's trying. A little bit of a roll.
Pretty good. Covers quite a piece of the button, so don't think USA can play a straight draw here. Well, it's a bit of a teaser, really, saying,
I'm just
okay, you
thinking
need to
back
come down,
four, back
maybe
eight.
play a bump, ever overthrow this, and you don't curl enough to catch a shot. There's a couple of other red counters in there.
That actually rolled kind of to the perfect spot. Had she rolled a rock farther, she leaves the button available for a straight draw for Team USA, and had she rolled a rock less, she'd just leave a wide open nose hit. So this makes it pretty precise for both line
Covering,
and
the
weight.
top of the button, so you kind of got to tap it back a touch.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, just thinking like just back 4, back 8 weight.
Okay. Back 4, back 8, 90.
90?
Yep.
Of course, needs to navigate past the top red as well. Probably rather crash on the top red, spin in for second shot here than blow past everything.
8, 9.
Yep, back.
And we've seen how
Whoa.
weight sensitive this ice is. Overthrown at all, it's not going to curl.
Whoa. Let's see. 8. It's dying
See,
now.
pretty happy with the weight. It's all about line. Need to curl onto the shot stone here, looking pretty good. Beautiful shot by Kate Flannery. Never in doubt. All the way down. And that is a score of 1 for USA. It's all tied here after 3 ends. USA, Canada.
Thank you, Kate.
What'd you have next?
Let's see.
I have like a 75.
6. Okay, so that's good.
Come on.
So we have we don't have hammer this time. We'll go center guard.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Center guard.
Yeah, that's all I got. Was 8 slow?
4, 5.
We're running a little.
We should be 3, 4.
Needs to pull up.
Is it 4?
No, it's not. We gotta coming.
15, 9. Easy, easy. Don't want it too tight. Okay. Don't want it too tight.
Tied score, Canada, USA.
Close, tight. I don't think it's close. Top 4, top 8. Top 4. Line's good. T. Close. Over there. T. Top 4. Line's, yup. Hard. Sorry, I thought it was T. 15-1. So top 4. Yeah.
Just nose, or we could just drum around too.
I like playing that.
The nose?
Yeah. Even a little roll in's not bad.
Yeah. Just like 10?
Yep.
I like this a lot. I like my playing.
Rebecca Miles enjoying a good start to this game.
Not much rotation.
Clean? Yep.
Yep.
Hard!
Good comment from the sweeper that there's not a lot rotation. That would indicate it's probably going to curl, which you did see it there, over curling onto the guard.
Yeah, because that, for a new fan, might seem weird that you'd think more rotation would give you more curl, no?
More rotation actually keeps it straight. It doesn't let it grab the curl. Often you'll see what we call a lazy handle, especially on this arena ice. If you're not used to playing on arena ice, we'll call it a bit of a soft release.
I like it.
It'll curl quite a bit more than if you're, what we say, nice and positive or with a little bit of a set, and that helps keep the rock straight for a good portion of the sheet, and then we'll break a lot later. A lot of these young teams wouldn't have played on arena ice too often, so they'll have to learn how to manage their releases out here.
Tight up 12. Tight. Where? Tight. Just tight, Dylan. Just tight. Just here. Just here. Just here.
16-4. Okay.
Nose, 10.
Touchdown.
Clean.
Not bad.
Yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Yep.
Whoa.
Clean, clean.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Just clean it.
Good sweep.
10-3.
Yep.
Okay, did I turn mine in a little bit?
Yeah, you kind of started it and it just
Okay. It's kind of what I
just kind of
thought.
went at, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good though.
But your kick was closer than that.
Selena was looking at just the straight draw around the corner, but
Yeah.
changed her mind to the hit and roll.
Whoa.
Medium.
Up. Whoa.
Up.
Whoa.
Medium up.
We're just nose. 9-8. Just release. I think I might give Kate my 2.
Huh?
I might give Kate my 2.
Little roll in. 10.
Okay. Okay, might.
Paige mentioning to Selena about a rock of hers that she feels might be a little bit different. That's what she means by saying give Kate her 2. So she'd be giving Kate the number 2 rock.
9-5.
Whoa.
You'll often see teams give their rocks that they're struggling with either to the lead or the second. The thinking with the second is that they're throwing more hits than the lead would. So if it's a little bit slower, it might not show up as much when you're throwing bigger weight.
I did not get time. What'd you get?
10-7.
Okay.
Just a little bit straighter.
here. Yep. Okay. Hard page.
15-7.
Right there. Right there. Right there?
Yeah.
We could just peel.
Okay.
I mean, you might even roll on.
What's the call?
9?
Yep.
No, let's just throw 8-5.
It's a 9 here.
Gotta be a little bit careful here. You heard her say you might even roll on. To hit it thick enough to stick around here, you risk bringing a jam into play on your own yellow rock that's in the rings.
All the way hard.
On the right-hand side as we're seeing it now.
Yep,
9-5.
No siree.
No. Played it nice and quiet and actually used her own rock to come off of the back of. Very well controlled
I went right
by
away.
Leah.
Still shots stolen for Canada.
That doesn't really change things for Selena, whether that rock went into the rings or didn't, as long as it didn't get shot. So she can go ahead and guard this one again. She could also split the rings and sit two,
Line's good.
choosing to guard for one more.
Tight. Half tight. Might have to finish. Just half. Gotta finish. Hard finish. Hard finish. Hard page. Hard. Hard page. Hard. 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 Whoa, whoa.
16-6.
Hey, Kate. Katie.
What?
Our time was
ran
running
down like
during
30
their
seconds
shot.
during their whole shot.
Our time was running during their shot.
Can you fix it, Kate, later?
What?
So there's always
Same thing.
It was about 30 seconds.
I already told you.
someone timing.
What kind of weight? 9.5?
The teams out thinking time
9.
once in a while. Time runs over a bit. Umpires will always
9.
make sure to give them back their time. No issue, but just letting them know.
9.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
It happens from time to time.
That was a well-timed joke, Sander.
I'm not really sure why we played that.
I don't know.
I think we'll end it there.
Okay.
Unfortunate jam on the side there for Team
Okay,
USA. Now
finish
leaves
there.
Canada sitting 1 and 2. And drawing to lie 3.
Want to be a little bit careful where you put this one, though. Put them a little bit deeper than the other two. Reds might potentially leave a triple.
Close. Little tight. Yo.
So just want to try to make these even.
Hard. Back 8. Hard. Hard.
Or if you're going to be to the back 8, you'll want to go all the way back.
Hard.
Make that triple a little steeper.
Hard. Well,
So this one over curling.
Can roll to center.
Not too awful there.
14-8.
That was
You like that?
Abby Mark's intern.
Doesn't break too hard.
Maybe curling just a tad more.
Yep.
Could be, yeah.
Weight was pretty good.
Yep, and she's also crossing the center line, so might have just got that one across the center line a little bit earlier than they had wanted. And out here on arena ice, once it crosses the center line, it's just going to curl quite hard on you. Sometimes tough for the sweepers to hold it.
Okay.
Hard roll or?
Yeah, hard for the roll. Waiting for someone happy with that.
There is an option here for Team USA. They could roll off the other one on the outside and actually make a double and roll and eliminate some Canadian stones.
10-3. 10-4.
Yeah, if you don't really make the rule here, then you're still leaving Canada a chance to
10-7.
split the rings.
Mm-hmm.
You make the double on the side, even if you roll out, then you're at least leaving a red on the center line harder to split the rings for Canada, I think.
And you're probably never giving up more than 2 if you make that double right now.
Right.
Does roll out though and leaves Canada a pretty good opportunity to try the same shot that Abby Marks just tried.
Yeah, a tad more room this time as well. So they've shifted the yellow over a bit.
High times Abby's was 14-7. It's better than giving them 3.
Yeah.
React more like the middle than the wings. You know, or we say throwing under. I mean, we could freeze, but
Then we bring 4 into play.
yeah.
Team USA just discussing what they're going to do should Selena make this freeze.
Should be good. With like a 9-5 play probably.
This early in the game, they probably will want to just play that double on the side, concede the 2 points, and move on.
Close. Line's pretty good. T. Line's good. Hair tight. Top 4. Line's good. Line's good. Top 8. Line's good. Hard. Top 8. Hard. 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 Get it there. Hard. 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 You got it. Hard. 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 Go. 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 Go.
We got it. We're just losing the sheet.
I think it's enough.
Yeah, it is.
Did hear Kate say that they got it. So they think that their third shot over there on the side.
Is it us? Is it us?
You don't even need to hit that high. It's just slightly nose.
I didn't get. Yeah, I
don't want to hit here and we jam it.
Okay.
Take a look at the other
think we
games
just gotta
going on here this evening.
What do you want,
On
throw?
sheet 8,
9.
Russia leads Japan by a score of 2-1. On sheet C, Scotland is leading 2-1
sorry,
over
9-5.
Korea.
Okay, I was
On
gonna
sheet D, Switzerland jumps out to an early lead of 8-1 in the
Max,
fourth
bro.
end. They've scored 2 scores of 4 in that game.
Good, Will, let's go
And
like it.
China is up 3-0 on
Here, Les.
Sweden, playing the fourth end on sheet E.
9-5.
And now Kate Flannery looking to make that double and roll that we were requesting earlier.
I mean, if we can, that's great. I mean, might as well try for it, Becca.
Might get the double and roll and bind everything
But,
here.
Yeah, that
mainly just
would
wanna
be
get high
ideal.
side so we can get these both out.
Sounds good.
9-5.
Okay.
9-5.
Yep. Yep, left.
Yeah. Whoa. Close. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Good.
Makes the double. And the roll. Fantastic shooting by Kate Flannery. Look at that. And now, if you look at the Stones top 12, bit of a stagger. No real run back for Canada. Well, maybe she just wanted to leave that double and roll for herself.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's a great shot. Team needed a big one there. The key thing was to make that double, first of all, and cut down Canada's rocks, but to make the perfect roll as well.
These stands or these stands?
Very well done.
Okay.
However, it did curl a lot on her guards. Both guards crashed on those pile of guards for her.
That's true. But they were also a little.
All of a sudden, Canada goes from a chance at 2 or 3 to needing full forfeit for their single.
Close down. Line's good. Close. Line's good.
Yeah.
T. Full 4. T.
I think we're there.
T. Make sure.
No, we're
Not a
fine,
lot of
fine.
sweeping on this one.
Believe ya.
Will it be a bit too hot? Definitely beyond the tee line here.
Sorry.
And it will slip just too far. That's a steal of 1 for USA. Looked like a big score for Canada in this end. And a fantastic double and roll by Kate Flannery. A slight miscue by Selena Surmey.
We get one.
And it's USA to lead it 2-1.
I think I feel like it's like going like 3 guard.
I do too.
Yeah. Even 2.5. So
Yeah.
then get around it. And then go.
Yeah, I did come a little deeper on that first guard than I It's okay. We probably slept a little hard.
That's okay. And then also go around.
It just slid like the first straw of the pin.
I just think, yeah.
It's just crossing
I
center.
felt like maybe a couple feet more on my hand. Yeah, I
Line's a little tight.
A little early.
Line's not bad.
3, 2.
He is rock though.
Yeah. 3.
Gliding.
Running. 3. We're in. Yeah, in.
You want to bring it top 4
Yeah,
then?
top 4.
14-9.
We're already there.
Yep, Leo.
Yep, we're already there.
Okay, that's fine. Great shot.
Go.
Easy. Pull. Clean. Yup. 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 Forward. 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 Straight up. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Seeing this tactic again from Canada to make the hit when USA comes into the house, even though they're 1 down. So it's that cautious approach, trying to run down the free guard zone a little bit, but maybe also keeping an eye on the scoreboard, even and odd ends.
Yeah, it's only the 5th end. They still have quite a bit of game left here, so they don't need to go too hard for their 2. Selena's probably thinking of waiting later in the end to manufacture that 2 points, not get herself into trouble early.
9-5.
A steal here would be pretty devastating for Team Canada on the scoreboard, so they'll just want to make sure they keep it pretty open, allow themselves to at least make sure they have a shot for 1.
But you see
This side?
effectiveness here, though. You make the hit. Now that Yellowstone's not on the forefoot. It's off the center line. Now you can throw the corner guard, knowing you have the 5-rock rule. USA can't peel it,
Exactly.
and there's no pressure on you.
Line's good.
Center line's
Weight's
open,
good.
but
Little
you've
bit
got
of
your
room
corner
if
guard in
anything.
play.
Halfway
Yeah, you might not see them do this
in.
in the 7th, 8th, or 9th end, where, you know, later in the game when they really need those 2 points, but still pretty early and
Pretty close to your
really
room.
smart by Selena.
Whoa, 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 whoa. 16-4.
Corner guard lands right on the cue. Cue for Queens, which is the, we're in the region of the Queens municipality. South shore of Nova Scotia.
Beautiful place here.
Line's
3, 2. Hold on for quite a while, guys.
good. Take a
2.
look.
Let it work.
Line's
2 is
good.
okay. 2 is great.
Becca's rock at the end if you can.
We're tight.
Okay. Well then.
Sit. It's easy.
Easy.
Clean. Clean.
Little up.
Whoa.
Easy up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Easy.
10-4.
Okay.
She just needs less rotation, like on that side. Yeah.
It's really important for Kate
I
to
do not like doing that. I like
stick
doing that.
around
I don't really
somewhere
mind
there.
putting up a center
I like that
guard.
a lot. Yep.
Okay.
You can feel it if you need to.
2-3.
4:15.
By rolling out, it allows Team USA to either peel the guard or throw up another center line guard, which is what they've elected to do.
It's a little tight. 25.
Line's a little tight.
2. Over and off. Over curling. 1.
Yep.
The only
Gotta
trouble
hold
with
it, yeah,
this
line's really
guard that they're
tight.
calling here is that they're calling it on the center line, so it's going to allow
Gotta go
Team
over and
Canada to
off?
play a
Yeah.
roll off of that USA stone that's in the rings.
Okay. 18-4.
It's not quite good enough to just go ahead and guard the rock that's sitting in the ring, so gives Team Canada an opportunity here.
Easy. Little less. Close. Close. Yep, hard.
Big roll. Big roll. Yep. Hard.
All the way.
Sorry.
Just a 10?
Okay.
Clean.
9-8.
Yep.
Yep.
9-8.
Yep. Yep, hard.
Hard deck. Hard to roll.
Whoa.
9-5.
Whoa. Looks up. Whoa, no roll. 9-3?
It's just a factor of the weight there. Skip Kate Flannery asked for about a 10, and it seems that she's thrown a 9-3 was the weight call. So that's what caused it to stay a little bit straighter and actually overroll the centerline guard.
Sorry, did you guys fall down?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, it just got real loud.
I don't mind. Okay. Yeah. I like board.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay. Yep.
11-5.
Clean.
Whoa.
Clean.
Got a girl.
Whoa. Yeah, Lex. Yeah, we could just roll away. That's fine.
Don't forget.
11-6. Hold down.
We watched this sheet last night between Canada and the USA in the men's competition, and that spot in particular, the outturn going away, kind of in the forefoot area, was running very straight, especially on the hits. So might just take the girls a little bit of time to figure out what that's doing and tighten up the broom a little bit. That roll away gives Team Canada an opportunity to come in behind those guards.
4 T on its own.
Yeah, running like we're
Coming
heavy. Just
down.
top 8.
Seems like Selena's abandoned the blank and just going hard for her too.
4. Can't. T, no, we're T back 4.
Just don't leave it back pin.
Back 8. Back 8.
14-5. Sorry. Very buried. It's crazy.
I like the freeze. Force them to 1. That's fine too.
It's such a
If
high
we play
guard,
this
though.
though, if we play this, they're gonna come and roll over here and leave us open.
Yeah, that's true. It's such a high guard, though.
Okay, we can try it.
I mean, but it doesn't hook hard either at the end.
Yeah. What's this side?
I don't know. Hooks maybe a little harder. I don't like playing that way, though.
Okay, let's put this to them.
Back way?
Back.
Yeah, back line.
Back line? Okay. Maybe just a hair more the back line
Yeah.
to get it out. Okay.
Do you like this? It's just such a high guard. Backline hack.
They're 1 or?
Yeah, they're 1.
Yeah.
No, that is true. What?
5?
Hack?
Hack. Okay.
Hack even back line.
Okay.
Okay.
So even like a 13.
Yeah, it's pretty thick here. Go right there. Hack! Hack!
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Need to be very careful in this spot.
Yep, gotta go, Lex.
Gotta go.
Bit of room in the guard.
Yep, hard,
Maybe a
Lex,
tad more
hard.
weight than
Hard all the way.
backline just threw weight, but enough to kill the red.
Yes, how much weight she threw, even hitting the small piece of it as she did, was enough to get it out of the rings. She could have just frozen there as well, come down to the back one, take that rock out of play that way, but she seemed pretty dead set on playing that little tap. Good for the skip to stick with their gut.
I got a little scared. I thought it was going through.
Oh. I like that for team too.
But by playing it that way and rolling out, it leaves Selena a chance to come in and make that draw even better. And then I'm not sure what the United States will do if it's just sitting kind of top 4.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's good.
Top 8 right now.
Hair tight.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Gotta go. Top
Pass
close.
room.
Top
Top
eight.
eight.
Just top
Okay,
8.
hard then. Line's good.
Hard decision.
Hard face, hard.
Oh, I really kicked that rock.
Paige back play.
I really kicked this.
Bit of a horse kick on the corner guard.
Yeah.
I think that's close.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Selena, was this like here?
That's an
I think it was
honest
slightly
mistake.
more over.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try and put it back in the right
No,
spot.
no problem.
As long as both teams are happy,
Yeah. So you meant like the
Seems like they are.
right?
then we just move on. Pretty good draw.
There?
Yeah, it's not a bad
You got
thing
it.
that she kept it as high as she did
could
because
bring it back
the
far and
United
get it
States
buried.
won't be
Yeah.
able to freeze to it and get much out of it, so they're forced to come around everything. Paige was really into that one.
Just draw.
Okay.
Okay. So I had
What's
a
up
15.
curling?
9. It was like 16.
Well, curling getting
for
a lot of
hers. I was,
attention in
like,
the US,
just
of
barely
course,
half on
after
8.
the Olympic gold medal.
So still a little quick on this pass.
It's great for the sport, what's happening in the U.S.
If it's not getting buried,
It's been
we'll
almost
bring
a
it
year.
back button.
Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
Feels like yesterday. What a whirlwind of a year it's been for John Schuster and his team.
Slight finish, little out. Good line's got out.
Of course, generates a lot of interest. Lots of people wanting to play curling. The
Line's out.
club's been filling up their ice time quite a lot. Maybe and hopefully they'll produce more
Yep, Lex.
promising talent for the years to come.
Yep, gotta go. Hard, Lex, forward.
This draw has really good weight, just
So out, fully.
not the line.
Okay.
It's going to sit very much in the open. We might get our first deuce on the board.
Selena will want to make sure she throws a nice controlled weight on this takeout. This is that straight spot we were talking about earlier, so.
Easy.
And she called easy, which would be about a 10.5, something like a controlled weight. So good call there by Selena not to overthrow this.
Queen. Whoa. Queen. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Came up just enough for her there at the end for her 2 points.
Yep, 2 points
Maybe we should
on
take
the
another
board.
pass, I guess, too. The other pass.
I felt like I was
That's
fighting.
the 3-2 lead for Canada. After 5, the teams will take a break, 5 minutes or
I
so.
did pop it a touch, and that's why. Said stay
Got a few highlights for you
Thanks.
in between the two halves here. And we'll have the teams back on the ice in no time.
Sounds good.
Third end, facing 3, Kate Flannery coming up with a clutch shot. Nice little tap to score the one. To tie the game after 3.
But they were also a little.
And the fourth end, Kate Flannery again with a great shot. Made a double and roll across, fully buried, leaving a draw for Selena Sturmay. Well, that just coming up ever so slightly heavy. And a steal of 1 for USA to lead it 2-1. And the fifth end, USA trying to bury, but leaves it open for Canada to make a play. A hit and stick to sit 2. And a 3-2 lead after 5.
I did pop it a touch, and that's why. Said stay now. Great. Thanks.
Taking a look at the other games going on here this evening in Liverpool. Japan has a 1-point lead over Russia after the 5th end. Scotland and Korea are tied at 2 playing the 6th end. Switzerland retaining their strong lead on Norway 8-3 after 5 ends. And China extending their lead 5-0 over Sweden in the 5th end.
I was like, someone help me. You got my hand.
Okay, what are in those?
Really try one. Do you have any allergies?
No, I don't want one. I just think they look really
Try
good.
it. Try it.
It's like Reese's Pieces, peanut butter, coconut, chia seeds, flax, oats. Abby knows the recipe.
Things that Abby can eat.
You're part of the team. You're welcome to snacks too.
They're very good. They're good.
Oh, Paige had a question.
So when she was, so what do we like doing to get our 2? Yep. What do we like doing though? Corner and then.
If they throw a top door, it's away. Nice and simple.
Chase him off the floor for the
Oh, should I have picked a different shot with my last?
Have John the other way. You haven't seen that draw in a long time. So I was okay with the O-turning, but it was just super straight. Yeah, I know. But it's straight, I think, on the inside side as well. So, I mean, the sheet is straight coming off the board, this other wall. So, I think you played it great. I mean, that's a couple of you very have that.
Pretty well played game so far. Just above that 80% mark for both teams. Bit of an advantage on draw weight for USA. Better on the hits for Canada.
Yeah, and I think that's why we see this game so close. USA only down 1 with the hammer. Just shows in the statistics how close this game has been, and a couple of really big shots by Kate Flannery to keep her team in this game and keeping it as close as it is.
It's session 4 of the World Junior Curling Championships 2019, the second session for the women's competition. Of course, you have the men here in Liverpool this week as well. And we actually did see USA play Canada in the men's competition last night, and that game went on to an extra end. You never know, we might see one this evening as well.
The way things are going, I think we might. Always a good game between Canada and the US.
Not biting.
Tight guard from Canada to get the 6th end underway. And USA will throw the corner guard.
finish.
Yeah, this will be fine.
2,
3.
just 2.
3. 2.5.
Line's good. Really going now.
Just on logo.
Still needs to get over a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Easy, easy, easy.
Really nice back. Okay.
Puts it right on the queens.
Nice call.
I'd like to go just a touch higher with them.
Pretty tight guards.
Okay.
They are quite tight. It could be that the ice got a little bit faster here after the 5th end. They do a mop of the sheet in between the 5th and the 6th end during the 5th end break. So that'll often lead to the first rocks of the 5th end sliding a little bit deeper than teams might expect. And in our other 2 games we've covered, I believe we've seen both teams slide heavy, wanting to be guards in that case. So keeping them in front of the rings, which was very key, but sliding quite tight.
Top 4. Hard. Top pin.
We're not seeing a ton of big swing in this ice, so with how tight those guards are, it is tough to get fully buried behind them.
Gets maybe an inch buried here. Paige Bapley
I don't mind just drawing 2.
from Edmonton. Isn't that where you're from?
That is. I do live in Edmonton. I see this Canadian team
guys like
around the
freezing
rink
better?
quite often. They
you
work
like
hard,
freezing
and
better than
it's no
drawing on
surprise that
here?
they're here representing Canada.
I kind of like this one.
What do you call people from Edmonton? Edmontonians?
Yes, Edmontonians.
All right.
I kind of like. We could freeze there too.
We can freeze. I like kind of just freezing on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Little taps okay too.
Yep. Yeah, it's not the pro side. Give it a little.
Line's good. Where?
Not a lot of rotations.
Just 6.
Wait, pretty good. Do it. 8.
Line's getting a little tight.
Okay, line only.
Oh no,
8,
line's
tap.
fine. Looks hot.
We're tapping a lot. 9. Do it roll out?
No.
Not too bad.
Nice
Just
back.
looking to freeze, but taps that
A little up.
back of the tee line.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, the last thing that they talked about was that the tap was okay, and what often happens, especially with younger teams, they look at the tolerance of the shot, and that ends up being what happens. They're playing not to miss as opposed to playing to make that shot. So tapping it a little bit further than they would like to,
Yeah, I like
but
that.
not a bad result.
Like a 14.
Yeah, even 13/8's close, I think.
Okay.
Selena made a couple comments earlier in the game about Kate's releases, in particular on her in-turn, so I wonder if Selena and Kate touched base on that at the 5th end break as to how she's throwing it and how they were going to deal with that the rest of the game.
Whoa, Abby.
12-5.
Stop. Just release.
We see her here as she's letting it go pretty quick at the end, quite a bit of spin and just putting it so slightly out. Not only does that keep it straighter, but it also adds a little bit to the weight because the rock is straighter. When it's curling less, it has less distance to go, so it often slides a little bit deeper, and that one was not only straighter than they expected, but heavier than they expected as well. So I think a good time for Kate and Selena to have a little bit of a chat here.
No, okay. I'm sorry, change it on to you.
Okay.
Looking to play a hit and roll off the center guard here. Just want to keep that center line open when you have last stone.
11-5.
Yep.
11-5. Yep.
11-5.
Yep, line.
Hard.
Trying to roll the shooter onto the rings, but
Yep.
this one's really curling on them.
All the way.
Hard roll.
Can they keep it?
Hard roll.
Hard roll. Hard roll. Hard roll. All the way. All the
Do
way back.
kill the red and rolls the shooter not onto the rings, but at least off the center line.
11-7.
That Yellowstone back eight is now fully protected.
Mid heavier, but not hack. Don't have to throw hack here. What kind of weight are you thinking though? is
honestly
this pass
feel
gonna
like
be
a
okay?
13.
Because we haven't thrown the intern down here yet.
I don't think it'll be terrible, but I still think it'll be a smidge heavier.
I kind of want to give you like a high 14, like a 14.7.
I like that.
You like that?
Just talking about the speed of the ice, they haven't really thrown down this middle path very much, and we'll often see coming across the middle it be a little bit slower on some ice surfaces.
Back 8 right now.
Sweepers didn't think it would be too bad though.
Page Petty one.
Still back 4.
Full top 4.
Top 4.
Where? Page.
T.
T back 4.
Yep. Hard.
Hard. 14-6.
Okay. Sorry.
Pretty nice line there for Kate, but going a little bit deep. They probably overestimated the speed there, thinking it would be maybe a little bit slower than it was.
You got it.
Seemed to slide just fine for them.
We're down. Yep.
Hard. Yep, hard.
Yep. Pat.
Yep.
Where is it?
Hard.
Yep. Whoa. Leah. Yep, Leah. Okay.
I couldn't. We were like right there.
Hey. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah. The guard's right there, so we had
Okay.
Did you hear me asking where it was at?
Us?
We have to get to Knowles.
We got the hack.
I like
They
actually
just 2/3.
Okay. That should be good.
Hack.
Good hack.
Yep. Hack. Yep. Oh. Yep. Forward. Clean. Whoa. Page. Hard.
It's good. 13-2.
Nice shot there by Abby at a very controlled weight hit. Just tapping that one through the rings.
Just like back line, back 12.
Team USA also wanting to tap this one back quite a bit. They don't necessarily need to. They could also look at coming and just tapping it back maybe a foot so that it's even with that other rock in the back of the forefoot, creating a pocket for them. It'd be very difficult for Canada to remove that stone if they could make a bit of a pocket back there.
Yep.
Back line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa. Becca. Yep, backs. Hard backs. Hard roll if there is any. That's fine.
Great shot, Leah.
Tough to do much better than that. She came pretty close to that guard.
House weight. Oh.
They could have considered even rolling in front of that red one, making it more difficult for Canada to remove.
Yeah, they're trying to hit her. We go here.
I kind of like hitting it.
I kind of like the hit, but I just threw it.
Yeah.
I kind of like the hit. I just threw it.
Same weight. Same weight. Whoa. Hack. Clean. Hack. Whoa.
Paramore.
Page. Whoa. Close. Page. Hard.
Hard tweet. It's good. 13-2.
Shuffles those yellows around.
Same weight. They're the same weight. It was just really hard to clear.
Tough to remove those reds in the forefoot now without jamming.
We could run the yellow.
Yeah, I think Abby did just about as good as she could there. It was tough for her to play enough weight at that yellow one to hit what she needed to. So by just moving it to at least the back 12 as she did, puts it into a good spot, and she keeps her red one in front of the tee line. So Team USA has to deal with it. looking now to do a little bit of damage control.
Just a little high side so that we can hopefully flop. Do you like 9-5? Sure. Or are you on to throw 9? 9-5. Okay.
Might be tough to get the double on the reds here. If you can get one going, maybe leave the guard you run in. Maybe
Keeping
8
here.
somewhere.
Yeah, just move it off of the center line.
There we go. Does stuff it, but does leave that guard in the 8 foot. Just maybe just barely covered by the guard. That's a pretty good shot. Leaves that redstone on the button just fully exposed and a bit lonely.
Pretty lonely. Team USA sitting second, third, and fourth shot there. That was the only thing with that hit by Abby, not being able to remove it all the way out of the rings. Leaves a lot of yellow catchers around.
Huh? I said that one just kind of sucks a little bit because if anything jams on it, it's going to be shot over either yellow.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hit and roll, maybe we'll double something. Maybe we'll hit and roll back too.
Looking at the Canadian fans on the left, that's Karsten Sturmay, Selena's brother, who also represented Canada, or sorry, represented Alberta at 3 Canadian Junior Championships. Will also be representing Canada at the World University Games along with sister Selena.
Easy up. Close. Easy. Close. Yep. Up. Woo. Woo. Easy up. Close. Yep. Hard on the roll. Hard.
Oh, we'll make the double here. And roll might have left the double back, but that's a pretty good result.
Yeah, that was huge to get rid of that second back yellow one there. Even if they do leave a double back, at least it's only to sit 2 now, as opposed to sitting 3 if she hadn't got rid of this back one. Really well done by Selena. She will have a double back, even if USA makes this double.
That's good though. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. 9-5. Nose. No. Hopefully not. Leah said it didn't. I should have probably looked a little harder, but I think we're good too.
Will it stay clear of the jam on the back yellow?
It should. As they hit it right on the nose as they expect to, it should go over the top of that one back of the 12 foot.
9-5. 9-5. Whoa. 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 9-5. No. Whoa. Queen. Yep. Whoa. Yep. 9-9. Yep. Hard.
Over curls a bit.
That's not the worst thing. Okay.
Leaves that in a bit of a tricky spot for Canada to deal with.
Shoot. Sorry.
I kind of like
Just have to guard it.
What was my time?
9-7.
9-9 here. She's
They do. Tough to get rid of that rock and stick around, and if you don't stick around, then Team USA will just have a wide open nose hit for their 2. So playing the guard here, making it pretty tough on the US.
Yeah, nothing else really naturally lines up. You might have an angled run to try and pick it.
Yeah. Just in between halfway and tight.
Maybe stick it for 3.
Really, like at the end of the day, like
Yeah, it might be there, but definitely a pretty natural angle to pick it out of there for their 2 points.
I take the same side that they're pretty straight.
Enter.
Anything else Canada could do here?
Like I said, they could just straight pick it and concede the 2 points and not leave anything for 3. A little bit risky to play it any quieter and try to hang your shooter around. Risk not getting it all the way out of the rings.
Maybe just playing the odds here. Playing the simple shot and leaving the tough one for USA.
Exactly. Make it easier on yourself and harder on your opponents. If you can do that for most of the game, probably going to come out on top more often than not.
Well, does that do enough?
I don't think it does. Covers a piece of it, but with quiet weight, I do think it's accessible to get to that yellow one for the USA.
It's probably hit
If
there.
we cross enough, it's coming this way.
Yeah. Otherwise, if we can get by this.
I kind of like crossing this way better because I think this is more risky.
It's definitely there for 2. What they're discussing is
like
how they
going
can make
10?
it for 3 and avoiding the jam on that
I
back
kinda like board.
yellow.
Okay, that's fine. We just have to make sure that if we hit this, we have to get it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think board will do it though.
Okay.
Fairly knows to not
hit what we
jam.
can see, and we got. Make sure we get 3.
Like board.
Yeah, I like that.
It's all flags, but
Thought they might be playing a bit less weight.
all pages.
Maybe they can see a bit more of that yellow than.
Or we can try to curl
looks
up right at the
alike.
last minute. And try to
Yeah, they need to come pretty close to the nose of that
I'll probably try
yellow
to yell at nose
rock
left
to
if I
avoid
need
the
to.
jam at the back there. So quieter weight would allow you to manipulate it past that red one top 12 that Selena just threw.
Yeah, you need nose to score your 3. And if you can only score 2, you might as well maybe throw a bit less.
Guarantee your shooter sticks around.
Well, Kate Flannery's been on form so far.
This looks close.
Starting to make a bend. Past the top. Red. Does jam in the back, but it's good for 2.
Oh,
Or is it?
makes the roll.
3. Well, I think it's 3.
It is 3. What do we know?
I'd give it up on that one. But it is 3. Wow. Kate Flannery.
Great
again.
shot.
She's been making some
Great sweep.
some
Sorry,
peaches
tried to
today.
call you off right at the last.
Another one. And that's a score of 3 and a 2-point lead for USA.
Good job, guys.
All right. So we'll,
5-3 to score. Impressive stuff.
so we'll go top 12. You guys like going? I'm sorry, top 4.
Top 4.
And then putting a center guard in. I don't think they'll hit. They'll probably go corner.
Top 4.
Up to 4.
Or if they do, they'll try for the late corner.
Yeah.
And we just.
Top 4.
I think I'm fine with that. I like to force them though. I like to force them to have the hammer in the 8th end.
Top 4.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll go top 4 and then we'll put a center guard on it.
Good job, guys. Keep it up. Doing great. Little finish. Not a lot.
6, 7.
Little up.
Back. Behind T.
Okay. Yeah. 14-3. Little up.
5-3 the score.
Okay.
Must say, Kate Flannery, skip of USA, has made some pistols so far through 6 ends. That's, for me, has maybe been the key.
Absolutely. Kate's been on fire, and a couple times she's found herself in quite a bit of trouble and made some great shots to bail out her team and put a lot of pressure on Selena Sturmey and Team Canada. That's been the difference in this game. I would say the rest of Team USA is probably getting a little outplayed by Team Canada, but Kate's just been making everything.
Whoa, don't need it. Whoa, we're tight line. It's
We're good.
Really good weight.
$17.5.
Sorry, I thought you said switch.
Better weight.
Line's good. 3, 4, 3, 4.
Okay. Just let it die.
No, we're 4.
Do we want to bring it here?
No.
We're a 5 right now.
No. I think just let it die.
Kate was calling for a tight guard there. Just slips into the rings, but that's certainly the way that you want to miss that shot with a 2-point lead. You'd hate to leave it halfway or higher as a guard and just give more for Team Canada to work with.
Really hard. Hard skate. Straight up. Whoa. $11.4.
I 10.
Go. Hard! Hard for a piece!
Hard for a piece. That's nothing you want to be hearing as a sweeper.
Hard, Leah. Shoot. Okay.
More redirect.
11.
Jams on her own yellow. Those unforced errors you don't want to have.
No, it sounded like she was just a little bit light of what was requested. I think Kate called for a 10, and the call at the end was an 11. So underthrew it by about a second, which can make a huge difference in how the rock reacts and how it curls, as we saw there.
Close up.
Lines. Good. Tight.
Little up.
Hold on. Where?
Back 4.
Clean. Close line. Whoa.
Back 8.
Whoa. You're by.
Back 8.
$14.3.
A little heavy here from Good Helpson, but
10.
it's in the house.
That was just mostly release, hey?
Fully buried.
Yep, you got it. What?
Could definitely come into play later on in the end.
10. Much better.
Looking to make up for that first mistake.
10.
Whoa.
9, 8.
Might see a bit of an overcorrection here.
Girl. A lot of rotation on it.
10.
A little more positive throw, a little more weight, but
Yep. 10.
hit and stick.
What'd you get? 10.
And did stay for a second shot, as Selena indicates.
Stay down on her
Actually
first.
stopped in a pretty good spot because the double for Team Canada would roll out.
Come here. I don't
And if
hate
Selena
this.
ignores those two rocks too long,
Selena,
she
come
might not
here.
get a chance to remove them later on.
What do you like, Abby?
Do you ever just nose that again? It's like if they hit it nose, then...
Timeout called.
Go time.
Normally see a lot of teams keep that for last end or two, but clearly feeling it's a bit of a key end here. Just wanting to make sure they play this out correctly. Score their 2 back.
It's just like, you never make this. No. Well, I was just going to say, if like, you hit nose again, you have to make it. And if they don't make it, then suck another one. Yeah.
Do you do like the back one and under this one? Like here?
I just don't like hitting because as soon as you roll out, our end's over.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
They're 1-2?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your first thought?
I just don't love hitting because as soon as you roll out, your end's over.
Yeah. I don't mind phrasing to that back one.
Nose it?
Nose it, you're giving her the double. I don't like nosing it.
I think you either nose that one or just come around the corner
If you
to
nose
get
this one.
second. Because I don't hate this. You come around the corner to get second. You hit this. You hope for a miss.
You just threw it.
Yeah. How much heavier is that? My only concern is I'm throwing 2. I haven't thrown it yet. I could probably throw the same weight though, right? Like, I'd like to have it stop fine.
I just think you have to get second shot coming around the corner. They probably feel. Then we can either freeze or hit and roll.
Okay. Yeah.
But then they're blasting that double. And then we got 2 by hitting that.
Okay. Okay, let's go behind the corner.
Okay.
Let's go with your first gut.
I don't mind it.
I don't think it's that much heavy. It's like 4 feet.
Okay. So I could probably give you close to the same weight, hey?
Smidge less. That is the worst bounce ever, I know.
That was Amanda Dawn Saint Laurent. French isn't all that
Sounds pretty good to me.
Seems like they're back to the first calls come around the corner.
Yeah, Amanda came out and asked what they thought about freezing to that back yellow, which is a call I quite like. They seem to dismiss it pretty early on in the conversation, but if you play a freeze to that back yellow,
Well then.
USA is forced to probably blast that situation, hopefully lose the shooter, and then Canada can play this draw around the corner guard against only one yellow rock in the rings versus 2.
Hard, Abby. Hard.
All the way back.
Hard, Abby. Go.
you got it. Hard, keep
Hard.
They talked about saving the freeze, but if you save it for too long, you might not bring these side reds into play. Made the shot they called pretty well, though.
A little sliver. It's like a 2 guard. What do you feel better about, the guard or the draw or the hit and roll? I like that. You like the draw? Okay. Yours fine too.
Playing a freeze on that back yellow also would have kept Team USA away from this corner guard, leaving room for Canada to play around it later. By playing it around it so early, you're kind of forcing Team USA to play this freeze that they're playing, and if they make it good, they could take an end away from Canada here pretty quickly.
Is it really up?
Yeah.
8. Should we come back down here?
Yeah, it's a 9.
Is it already there?
It's a 9.
Becca, stay close. Becca.
Back up.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, it does set for third shot. It's tempting to deal with those yellows, but then you still leave maybe a freeze
I
in
kind
around
of
the
like
corner
the
for
freeze.
USA.
Okay.
You do,
Yeah.
but again, leaving those yellows too long
1, 2, 3.
could create some issues later in the end.
I think they're 1-2.
I got like a 14-3 when they threw that draw.
That was a pretty
to
big
there,
miss
so-
from Leah. She could have been really anywhere in front of that red rock and created quite a bit of problem for Team Canada.
Close. Be close. Line's
Reach
good.
close up.
Back 8. Back 12. Little bump. Pull.
Back 12.
Oh no.
Just through.
Can't.
Through.
Kate, yeah, try. Yep, hard
Needs
Kate.
to grow some
Hard,
teeth
hard,
here.
It's not bad. They're
Well.
probably 1-2.
Yeah. 13-8.
Another red in the 8 foot.
They're 1-2.
They are 1-2.
Yeah. We could try the same thing. Do you like that better than the nose hit?
Yeah, probably.
1. Okay.
A second go at this freeze.
Line's good.
Really take
Lots of room.
the end away from Canada.
Okay, lots
Line
of room.
only.
Lots of room.
Lexi's rock.
Don't want to overcook this one.
Lexi's rock. 14-7. Whoa, take a look, guys. No bounce.
14-7 would indicate that she's pretty close on the weight.
Oh, just
Sorry, Kate.
a tiny bounce.
Our bad. Great throw.
Couldn't quite afford that. Still a nuisance for the Canadians.
Honestly, that back.
It is, and because of all those rocks behind the tee line at the back of the house, it's not a super easy rock to remove either without any kind of jam. If you're a little bit high, you slide off the side of your red one. If you overcurl a little bit, you might jam it at the back, and all of a sudden you're not sitting second shot anymore. Just be a little bit careful here for Abby Marks.
Hard. 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 Whoa, bump. Close, yep, hard.
Oh, that's really good.
They do jam, but also leaves the shooter corner frozen on their own red. Just shot stone, I believe.
I kind of like hitting and sticking.
So then to
You
Skip
do?
Brox and
I like it because then this will
Kate
come
Flannery.
here.
Huh? What'd you say? You do like that?
It's really tight, but I think it's there.
Just like a hack weight. Yeah, you can't see a ton.
Oops. I like 10.
I like hack.
Okay.
Doesn't need to move it far at all.
Come around here, put a
Okay.
little bump, try and sit on the corner of the red.
As much nose as we can.
You'd expect her to be close with this one.
Do you
She's
like
made
forward?
some great ones today, and one to maybe look back at is the 610, where both of us weren't convinced if the shot was there, playing board weight,
Yep. Hard.
but just squeaking past the top red. Does jam, but
All the way out. All the way out. All the way out. Yeah.
not so much that she removes the yellow.
Thank you.
Scores 3.
Sweet. Sorry, I tried to call you.
That's one of many good shots played by
So once you get by
Flannery
that guard, you can push over.
this evening. And why USA are up by 2. In a little bit of trouble here.
Max, bro.
She's trying to make sure that she stays in front of the red rock so that she establishes an angle on Team Canada.
Close. Whip. Yep.
Just playing a half waiter, control her speed.
Yeah. Hard. Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Whoa. Oh. Lex. Lex.
Riley, I didn't know you wanted that. You're fine.
Not too bad. Trying to set in the corner. I think that was maybe slightly overthrown. Couldn't really hear any weight calls from the sweepers, but
No, but I wouldn't think it would
you
roll
gotta
off
go
quite
through
that
the
much
whole,
if she
like,
had have
clip
thrown
this
the
one.
hack weight that she wanted to.
What?
Yeah.
Can you tell who's second shot there,
Doesn't
Sandra?
matter. Just mainly Becca.
How come? Because they're going to double this now. I think we should wait.
Easy. Just nose.
nose maybe make the double through the hole in the back.
It's not too important to get rid of that back when Canada is sitting, I believe, second shot here if she's indicating just to play to the nose.
Close. Yup. 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 Easy up. Hard. 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 Easy. Hard. 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 Paige. Hard.
That's not the worst.
Well, it does hit for 2.
10-5. 10-5.
Rolls in front of 2 USA stones, so makes it tough for USA to remove without bringing a jam into play.
I mean, you could do
Shoot.
I don't mind that either.
jams.
Could come off the
If we play
shot
this,
stone, but if you
I like that a lot,
straight jam it, you don't kick
So you
over
really
the
gotta
second
hit
red far
here.
enough.
Because otherwise it jams.
Might leave a double
I do
on the
not like
yellows
the jam.
on a big score.
if we play this, I might actually roll under.
I don't mind the freeze.
Okay.
For like there.
Okay. Yeah. Even though tap's not bad, but I like that.
I don't really like tap too much. That way we let me at least, oh God. Okay, I just moved that out, I think.
Yeah, you did. It's
Well, teams are
Okay. Sounds good.
tied for kicking rocks about. Just put that one back.
For nose, a little low side.
I've done that a few times.
Okay.
I think I'm still feeling a shoulder injury from tripping
Nose.
over one a couple months
Drop,
ago in
just
Japan.
freeze.
I fell hard.
Down to 2.
okay. You don't like that hit at all, do you?
What?
That hit at all? You don't like that?
I saw
Hit? I just think it jams
saw a clip
for a hit.
recently from a Scottish team where 2 of the players tumbling
The red to try to do the double, but
on a rock
Oh dear.
at this like 10 seconds apart.
4-0.
It's slippery out there.
405, okay.
Yeah. Just watch where you're going.
Little finish, not much.
Whoa, we're in 3, 6, 7.
Mine's good.
7, 8.
So a freeze
Six,
the call here
Mine's
for
good. Needs to curl a
Flannery.
little. Mine's pretty good.
Easy back.
Gonna be a little careful about where they place it, what angles they leave for Canada.
Yep, hard all the way. Right here, go as far as you can. Becca, dig!
Doesn't seem to be quite all the way down there, though. Would love to be second shot. I don't think they will be.
Get back. 402.
So if Canada is line 2, that's just going to be a draw for 3.
Good save.
Surprised the sweepers a little bit on that one. They thought it was good most of the way.
No, it's really close, but I think it's us. We have lots of time.
Not sure if it's that easy to get to the yellow, even if
I think it's us.
No,
want to move it.
I don't. I think the red rock and the 4-foot is. Everyone's taking a look, just like we are, see if it's accessible. I think she just has to draw for sure her 2 points, and then hope that they're sitting third shot as well.
yeah, I don't think they can
Should
do
be in
much
the
more.
good stuff here, but 15.
Yeah, 15.
Just need a piece of the 4.
Chance to score 3 right back here for Canada. Increasingly more and more points in this game. Starting off with a blank, some singles, a 2, a 3. Another 3 on the cards for
Yeah.
the Canadians.
Back 4. Yeah, back 4, back 8.
She's been either dead weight or a tad heavy on her draws today.
Kate, just back 4. We're fine. Okay.
Sweeper's not really having to work too much, but this one does settle down on its own. Sweeper's delight. So definitely 2. Do they agree on 3? Will we have a measure?
Yeah. So 2 for sure. Yeah.
Looks like we might just put the stick on it.
Either way, a great end for Team Canada to get themselves right back in this one.
It's so freaking loud.
I think it's us, but it's really close.
We're good. What did I throw on that last one?
Item 402.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Pretty sure it's that.
First
Clean
caught
is so
the
different.
yeah the crappy stuff in the middle.
15, and then, but what was it? Never mind. Watch versus clean is a different time than clean versus sweep. Like, there's not like we can take it if we're like good. Like,
I think watching it, it's like
So just a reminder, Canada has scored 2 for sure.
If you're cleaning it like 14.
We're measuring
Sweeping it 15-2.
for a potential 3rd point. Canada with the red stone.
Oh yeah, like half a second.
Waiting on the umpire.
like team 3, and then they were top 8. I got like scared at the end there. I was like, I know it's something going, and I was like, oh my god.
Where did it land up?
No, like just above, like top,
Just above, yeah.
touching pin.
Okay.
Like kind of.
He's like, I think it's up, and I was like, I think it's close.
What's going on?
Yeah.
No, bringing out the dial measure.
Not quite to 1.
Just that slight nudge of the dial on the red. Looked like maybe nothing on the yellow. So it is another red for Canada, 3 points. They strike right back and jump ahead by 1-6-5 to score
I should have been up there.
after 7 ends.
I've actually never been wrong on one of those. Playing 3rd.
Hey. Nice eyes, boys.
Good stuff.
All right, we are
Back to a 9. And then she called the hit, and I was like, ugh.
Chill.
I was just being the laziest person. Okay, top 4.
Tight.
Close up.
Okay,
You're all
tight.
there. You're all there. You're
Back
all there.
feet. Not close. Up. Up. Back 8, back 4. Now we need to like watch it, watch it.
You might be crossing center here.
T.
Just top 4.
I don't think so.
Oh, 14-1. Her release looks really quick again.
Okay.
Like, I think she just needs to slow it down. Okay. 14-1.
That's the watch.
Well, you can see on the scoreboard just more and more points being awarded in this game. We're expecting a 4 here in the 8th end, the way things are going.
Line's good. 3. Starting to really move.
Huh?
Really digging.
It seemed like a 2.5. Yeah, it's okay.
Can you not go, Lex?
Huh?
Okay. Never mind. It's fine. It's really overturned.
Oh, is it okay?
Oh, pretty nice corner guard.
Give it one and see if I didn't know. Tight to biting. Biting? Did she say? Okay.
Taking a look at the leads here, Rebecca Miles from the United States with a slight edge over Paige Papley. Paige has had a couple of rollouts on some hits and maybe just not quite getting the line on her draws. Overall, both leads having a pretty good game. Not much to choose from here.
Hard. Hard, Abby. Hard. 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 Go. Hard, Abby. Hard.
Selena asking for a really tight guard or even a biter on this one, so it's a little higher than they had wanted.
I like that.
I don't think Team Canada would be too upset
Yeah, I like that a lot.
if USA even blanked this end. So a second one in the rings might not have been too bad. Just coming up a little short there for Paige.
Lots of room.
Gotta go. 5, 4. 2, top 8. Come on.
Yep, hold it straight then. Whoa. We're not going to be in and we're just overbearing.
What?
We're not going to be in and we're just going to overbury.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it comes up a bit short here.
Lights to miss.
Not great.
Top 4.
Almost acts like a second guard for the shots going for Canada.
And unfortunately, they've overlapped it a little bit behind Canada's center line guard, which makes it pretty unusable for the United States. They might have to start peeling some rocks in the middle here. Make sure they leave themselves a shot.
Rib.
Yeah, hair down.
Hair down.
I like
close.
it.
Close, top 12. Top 12, top 8.
Room, switch.
Top 8.
Hard pitch.
Top 12.
Hard pitch.
Hard, gotta go.
Hard.
Really gotta go.
I believe one game is already over in this session this evening.
That game, we did have a final on sheet E. It says 7-1, but China actually stole 5 in the 7th end to end that game. Going to sheet D, Switzerland with a 3-point lead over Norway. They were leading by quite a bit more. Norway's inching their way back. On sheet C, Korea is up 6-3 over Scotland. And on sheet A, Japan with just a 1-point lead over Russia, playing the 7th end, leading 4-3.
It's like a 90.
I don't really like this call.
Okay, I think we're shrinking the scoring zone. I like that. More
Like
weight.
hitting more of it? Okay. Still just back 4 though, back 8.
I think I should throw a little more. Back line.
We gotta pop that red out.
Sure.
Gotta get that red all the way out the gate.
Okay.
Not a volley, but just move it over.
Back line.
Essentially playing a split on their own yellow here.
Okay.
That will kick the red stone on the top 12, just out in the open. Maybe even try to roll the shooter behind the corner.
Yep. Gotta go for line.
Lexi's been struggling a little bit on both hits and draws today. Being outplayed a little bit by Kate. Just a little off on her weight at times. This one actually overthrown, but over curls as well.
It's unlucky. Curls an inch less. It's probably pretty good. They roll the shooter onto the rings and might get all a redirect off that stone top 12.
I did love that call by Kate to just try to jiggle that around, loosen up the middle a little bit, but stick some yellow ones into the rings. It's unfortunate not to get more out of that.
Weight's close.
I thought it was more.
Clean. Close down. Clean.
One more.
Take a look, guys.
Top 8.
Room, switch,
Top 8.
switch.
Top 8, top 4.
Abby, top 4.
Canada could put a ton of pressure on USA.
Top 8.
They can bring this one in.
Hard, Abby. Hard.
Top
hard.
8, top
Line's
4.
really good. Hard.
Hard, Abby, you got it.
Hard.
Keep going, keep going.
Hard. Go, buddy. Hard.
Buddy, go.
Hard.
Oh, I hit that rock, but it's fine. I didn't know
I
that.
don't.
I didn't know that.
15-3.
Okay. Yeah? Fine with that.
Looking for the peel here. Kate could look a little closer at these angles. If she plays it into the red one in the top 12, it goes right back into those ones in the forefoot.
Clean.
Didn't even really look at it.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yep.
Hard roll. Hard roll. Well, that's fine.
She actually called them on to sweep and hold it straight, or even a inch more curl, and she makes contact with the one top 12. Maybe could have taken a little bit more time to look at the angles on that one.
Trying to, but I'd rather feel it than just nose.
Yeah. Yeah, half is really good.
Yeah, USA really needs to move more than one red stone at a time here, or they're not really making any progress. As long as Canada keeps replacing the guard.
Pass tight, if anything.
Tight.
Especially with where those Canadian stones are in the forefoot.
Little bit, Paige.
Yeah,
Up.
okay, help.
Halfway. Yep. Hard, Paige. Hard. Hard. Go. Hard.
It's pretty good. 17-8. This is greater? Or?
Yeah, it's just not curling there anymore.
You could probably throw 10 and get them both.
Okay.
Or do you like 9-5? I like 9-5.
Little under curl from Abby on her guard. Leaves these Canadian stones exposed in the forefoot.
9-5. 9-5. Yep. Hard. Hard. Okay. That's fine too. That's good, Leah. We're in front of them. 9-3-7.
What? 9-2.
Certainly better than it was for Team USA after that result. Looking at the thirds here, Leah actually has a bit of an edge on Abby. Abby struggling a little bit with her draws. Has a chance to make up for that here with a good guard.
Yup. Half. Tight. Yup.
We're just half.
Halfway. Hard. Whoa. Halfway. Close. Yup. Hard.
Whoa. That's pretty good. 17-7. 17-7. That's good.
I have nothing.
What? is the... Come here, Leah. I guess maybe you're right.
I like this a lot.
I know, I just feel like this might be the only chance we get at it.
At that?
Yeah.
If we play this, though, they put it here, then we can run it.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we have to leave it open for you, too.
Just a little high side. It's pretty close to nose.
What do you like throwing? 7.5?
Heel, yep.
Somebody throwing 7.5?
Decided on the double peel.
7.5. Oh. Okay. Very nice, actually.
Nice shot, Leah.
Well done.
Watch that spot right there, Kate. That little spot in the ice.
What spot?
Nice.
Huh? I gave way less. Like 5 inches less. It's like mid-8.
It'll finish good, too.
Yeah.
can get
I want it
close.
tight as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I just didn't see Abby's room. I knew we undercurled, so.
Mine's like on the inside of the letters, and I gave her like 1 inch outside edge 8.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this will be really good then.
Sounds good.
Weight's close.
Halfway
Mine's
tight.
good.
Tight.
How's the room right now?
Halfway. Halfway.
Paige. Whoa. Mine's good.
Halfway.
Okay, just let it stop.
Paige, a little bit up. Paige.
Okay, Paige, yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa. That's good. Nice. 16.9.
Guards that yellow-red combo in the house.
Seems like Canada has now got that spot figured out. They undercurled a little bit on Abby's attempt
That one.
at guarding
That one.
those rocks there. So Selena tightened up the broom quite a
That
bit.
one's really, I feel like that's pretty hard.
I don't like this.
Looking
It's
at
gonna
this
push this
at the
out
skips
if you
here.
don't
Yeah,
hit
so
it
which one are you
correctly.
looking
Dead even, and that's why
This
this
one?
game is as close as it is.
No, I was looking at this.
Selena struggled a bit on her draws. We
Oh,
saw her
you
go
wanna try to
heavy
hit that
on her
nose.
draw against one in the fourth end.
I feel like
But we've
that's
seen
kinda
Kate
hard.
make a few beauties out
There's
here.
a good chance of you hitting your yellow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good chance of our picking up our only yellow
Yeah.
in
Did
there.
they call a timeout?
I like this better. Yeah, we can call a timeout. if you
This
want to.
run?
I like this one, yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Lot
play
better.
this then.
It's just about nose,
Even if
even
you...
a little high side.
Okay.
Like 9.5.
Yeah. Where do you like rope?
I like coming this way. Just 9.5. 9.5.
Okay.
The red, the high guard.
Just peel or what?
To run
Run?
it back. Yep.
To double the guards out
Simple
or
enough.
to nose the...
So
In
we're
theory,
going
although she has
nose
to
a
come
little
pretty
high
tight to
side
that
on this
red
running
rock
straight
in the
back
top of the
and
12
try
foot
to get the red.
to hit the yellow one where she needs to.
Just because I thought the other red was a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
Just a 10-foot run back. Well,
Just 9.5.
you know, she just clips the yellow.
Sounds good. I got you.
Should probably stick in it in the forfeit.
And I think that's why she's calling just a 9.5. She's not throwing super big weight here. Wants to make sure her yellow rock does not spill too far.
Nose down.
Needs to go for a line here. Starting to over curl. Uh-oh.
Might get lucky here. Or
Oh. Well, that certainly changes things a bit.
Opens it up.
gives her a chance to score at least.
Certainly opens it up. But now 3 reds in the house. Canada might be tempted to try and remove this yellow.
I do believe that's the call for Selena.
All the way up.
Had to throw it a lot harder.
And do the exact same thing.
the way out, Leah.
Draw too, otherwise. If we come this way with the draw, once it gets to the hog line, it really kind of curls and slows up, I think.
Okay.
So remove the salo. I'd quite like to leave the shooter.
Easy up. Medium. Close to medium.
Clean.
Pull.
Just adding to the pressure a bit.
Yep. Hard. Woo. Yep. Woo. No.
Real nice. Actually keeps it so that the shot stone's partially covered. USA not able to play a nose hit for the one. That's real good.
No, USA will either have to play a double on those two reds or a cold draw to the button.
You have backing.
Yeah, a little tap. It's fine too. There though.
Okay, you got it.
And
Could be
she's
max
choosing
throw.
the draw.
Get it in the hack.
Remember when I was a junior, back in the
Many
Middle Ages,
years ago.
I was always told never draw against the backing.
And that was the last thing they talked about before Kate slid away there, was that you can come to the backing, but
Kind of curls a little bit. Okay. And starts to come down.
there's not a lot of room there to come to the backing past the top 8 rock.
The thought is, if you think about the backing, you have a tendency to maybe overthrow it. And if you don't ice to actually play the backing, you might not get the curl to get there. So quite often you're better just playing the cold draw and then
Or just choose to actually play it as a tap. So
Yeah.
if you know your tendency might be to overthrow it, tighten that broom up a little bit.
well, facing 4 Canadian counters here, and sweepers haven't touched this one yet. As it crosses the hog line, making its way into the house here. It's starting to
Really
stop.
trying.
And there you go. just a cold draw to the button there. No sweeping required. Wow.
That scared me.
That was a bit scary indeed. No sweeper likes to just walk and watch a rock come to a stop, but it did.
Yeah, sorry about
One for USA. Tied game here after 8 ends. 6 apiece.
Yeah, we're aiming at 90, 95. I like it.
Cool. That was a good end.
Yeah.
Lots of room. Just a 2, 2.5. 2. Starting to curl now. Take a look.
Place it.
Leah's rock.
What long?
We're there.
Leah go. Yep,
We're ready.
Leah go a little bit. 16, 8.
Okay, we're good. Really good.
Good
Good
shot,
shot,
Bex.
Bex. Great. Perfect.
9th end of play as Canada take on USA. You heard the World Juniors in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Always fun and friendly, neighborly rivalry.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a rivalry there when Canada plays the United States. I think both of these teams really want to win this one. They want to win every game, but a little bit of pride on the line, I think, here with this neighborly battle.
Back 12. It's curling lots now. Back 8.
And as expected, they're in a really tight, close game here.
I don't know if another one will stop 13-9 there. Like, it curled a lot at the end. I don't know if it half picked, but...
Top 4.
Getting into the later stages of the game here, players will want to pay attention to the speed of the ice and the paths and whether or not it's coming down or fudging in the middle where they might lose a little bit of pebble. Pretty common late in the game, and especially in an evening game like this. Lots of chatter will be key to making precise draws late in the game.
Rock if you can. No, line's okay. Lexi, stay on it. Yep, Lexi, stay on it. 15-3. Yep, bring it top 4. You got it. Hard. All the way. Good sweep. Great sweep.
Big sweep there to put that one in a great spot.
Great sweeping.
It's close. Line's good. Weights. Close. Fighting top 8. Top 8. I think we're line's good. Top 12. Line's tight. Yep.
Hard. Tight.
Oh.
Tight.
No. Whoa.
We're biting.
Yeah, get a biting then. $15-6. Okay.
Paige a little deep on her first one there, maybe over adjusting on the second one and coming up a little bit short. That rock that Paige just threw acts almost like a guard for Team USA as well.
Just top 4.
Not super usable for Team Canada.
Yep.
4. Remember, it's you have
Looks
back
pretty
eight.
hot.
5. Running straight.
Really running.
7. We're
Down to it.
Down 2.
no
We're
back
definitely
down to it.
Lots of room. Looks
Are
really
we on
hot.
it?
Down 2.
13-8. No, you're not quite on it yet. Get close.
Sorry, Kate.
That's all right.
What did you get for short?
What was that
90?
start?
Okay.
Peel.
Yep. Hard. Clean.
Oh, that was a really weird noise.
7-6.
Kate makes the peel no problem. Selena's trying to keep it a little bit open, make sure they have a shot in the end of this end.
2.5, 3.
Okay. Yep. $4.10.
2.
Line's good.
2.
2.
Running a little bit.
Yeah, we're a little heavy.
2.5. 3.
Starting to get better.
2.
Line's getting better.
2.5.
Might need a little bit at the end. Leah.
Whoa.
Nice shot.
Okay. Keep in mind we're short on time, so we know where to put the guard. Okay.
I didn't know she heard me.
Taking a look at our other games here this evening in Liverpool. On sheet A, playing the 9th end, Russia leads 6-4 over Japan. On sheet C, we have a final, Korea beating Scotland by a big score of 11-3. Another final on sheet D, Switzerland beating Norway 11-6, and the final on sheet E, China 12-1 over Sweden.
Yup. Whoa.
Oh, there we go. Clean as house.
Very nice shot.
Some good help from Good Helpson.
USA's guard came a little bit too tight.
Yep.
Left that shot there for Kate, and she made no mistake.
Hard.
Yep, hard.
Hard, back.
Yep, all the way. Yep, all the way.
Key thing with that shot from Kate there is that it actually brings the blank back into play. It wasn't looking like it for a little while. Selena would love to blank this and take hammer into the 8th. And all of a sudden we have a wide open house.
Okay. What turn do you see on it? You can throw either. I kind of like this way, but
I like it too.
Heel.
Heel. Heel up.
Pull. Clean. Yep. Forward. Whoa.
Let's see the double here might get some action on the red. Up and away we go. Tiny around the horn action.
Not too concerned about sticking around there. If anything, it leaves nothing for USA to freeze on. So
Free guard.
great result there for Abby Marks.
Where? 4. Whoa,
3
just
guard.
2,
2, 3. 3 if you can.
2.5, 2, 2.
Yep.
Just a 2.
Yep, bring a little tighter if you can. Okay, that's good.
Team USA not going down without a fight here in the 9th end. Hoping for maybe a nose peel here from Team Canada to give them some rocks to work with. Try to keep the force alive.
Yep. Hard. Clean.
But makes no mistake there from Abby Marks.
Nice shots. And these rocks are real lively. I did not think that yours was going to roll out. Yeah.
Not much finish.
Great way. Just 2.
2.
Line's fine, Beck's rock. Where? 2.
2.5.
Okay.
Just 2.
Line's fine.
Yep, bring it as tight as you can.
You're
Okay,
fine.
that's
Just-
fine. Don't kill yourself.
You're fine. Just leave it.
One more try at the guard here for Team USA. You hear Kate as she lets it go talking about finishing it. She said there on that one, not much finish. I believe she's referring to an extension on release, and that's really good feedback to give to the sweepers.
Pretty short. That doesn't seem right.
Tells them, you know, a little bit about your release, how it might run, especially if you're taking a split time. The numbers don't always tell the whole story.
No, but when you play with someone for a long time, you start to see that too. Sometimes you can see the ad or the pull, but always nice for the players to just let you know.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just don't see it, or maybe you glance down at your stopwatch right at the moment that they released it.
That does happen.
Hard, gotta go, hard! Hard on the roll, Okay, hard. Hard finish.
Top 8.
Whoa.
Hard
7,
finish would
8,
probably
7,
indicate
7,
a bit more of an extension than she would have had on her previous
Mine's fine.
draw. Really just needs this to stop somewhere in the rings.
Okay, okay.
Still in.
Sorry, what
Not sure if it will. Yeah, it just pulls up in time.
And then I finish.
Right on the edge.
What would be the longest roll needed here for the blank?
Should be pretty routine for Selena. She's made quite a few of these this game.
Peel.
last 9th end.
Heel.
Clean.
For the blank.
Clean.
Keep the game tied, carry the last one advantage into the final end. There we go. That's going to be a big advantage, Canada.
Nice.
USA really needs to go hard for the steal in the 10th end. 1 to go.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we'll go tight, and then we'll go under with it. Perfect.
Okay, so if they play tick, you want me to stay down with you?
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Let's play it like we played this one. I'll make my shots no.
Edge or tick.
Eat.
Okay.
I barely
2.
did anything with that.
Line's good. A little tight.
That's okay. It's okay.
Just Leah, if you can.
We're over.
Leah.
Making a lot of sound. It's okay.
Okay. Sorry,
Right
line's
there.
tight, so
Sit.
I was gonna have.
Sit down. Great shot, Bex.
Great sweep. Good shot.
Yeah, that's good.
All comes down to this. Quite possible that this is the final end of the game. Don't see very many blanks in the 10th. Obviously both teams going for the score, especially so for USA, just trying to put everything in play and trying to steal.
Line's good. Wait,
Although we did see earlier today,
top 8.
men's USA team had an extra end that they actually ended up blanking. They really had no other shot but to blast a couple rocks in the forefoot
Oh, no, you gotta
and
switch,
ended up
switch.
going to a
Hard key.
12th end.
If you can.
Yeah, run out of room on the scoreboard.
Line's really
Don't
good.
see that very
Line's
often.
It's good.
15-8.
Here. 3.
You're like 3
2
quarters
and a
in.
half's good too.
Sorry, that was mine.
No tick shot
Okay, there.
on the guard from Canada. Is that because they felt the guard was about halfway?
Yeah, it should be a fairly routine double peel because of how tight that one did come. But I think what they were attempting to do was actually leave that rock wide open. Maybe not quite so high, but if you have a rock in that position and USA comes around, you know you always have that red rock usable for you to play a short run back later on should you need it.
No, but take a look though.
You know USA is not going to go play a hit and roll off of it, tied in the 10th end, needing to steal.
That's a pretty good rock placement there. 2 center guards. That's lots of separation. That's no gimme double.
No, about as good as she can do. So looks like Selena might be asking for the tick on this one, realizing that there's not much she can do.
Not much the coaches can do at this point either. It's a bit of a cliche, but that it's worse to watch than actually play.
It is definitely worse to watch than play. I am way more nervous when I watch than I am when I actually am playing myself.
You can see the American girls trying to sweep this out of play. If it touches the bumper, it's replaced, but it does not. So pretty decent tick attempt there from Paige Papley. Does open up the center line. Might take away the intern draw though, and with that redstone top 12. For the time being, no easy draw to the forfeit for Canada.
34.
No, Canada will want to be paying attention to that throughout the end, making sure that they always have a way in there for one.
Lots of room.
1.
Needs to work a little bit.
Gotta curl
Not
it
really
up.
any way into the forfeit for USA either.
Back at the end. Yep, back.
No, unless they play a short tap on their guard, but I can't imagine that that tight guard is going to stay there the whole end, with Team Canada trying to eliminate any USA guards that they can.
Good sweep.
I'm so out of breath right now. I'm so out of breath, like going back and forth.
Get in that exercise, Leah.
You're really up there.
Peel up.
Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. 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 Roll, Abby.
Oh, wow, gets the double here, actually. A little fortunate.
Was fortunate. They weren't calling for that. They were just calling for the straight peel on the high one.
She knows it.
That was so close.
But if you look now, oh.
I'll take it.
If you look now at the setup here, neither side is accessible for Team Canada to get in there should they need to. They might have to play across the middle.
Just give a little. Good.
We're okay.
I got a 430 again.
Let it work.
Mine's fine.
1. Let it work. No deeper than 2. 1.5.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Leah's rock.
We're down. We're like 3.
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're down where your broom is.
Okay.
Can we freeze something?
I'll freeze it. Okay, hold this way.
Yep. Peel.
Peel.
No.
Big,
Peel.
big extension
Yep,
on that
yep.
throw.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Too big of a extension. Ends up taking off the corner guard.
I think that's why Selena briefly called them on for the sweep, just to make sure that they at least got the corner guard, because she knew pretty much right away that they weren't going to make contact with the yellow rock that they intended to hit there.
Does remove something.
It opens up that side, but
Mine's good.
allows USA to throw a second guard here, which will be pretty junky for Team Canada up the middle. Not what you want to
Try
see.
work a little.
The last end tied with the hammer.
We're really
Yeah,
good.
those 2 stones
Oh, just
Maybe
101.
2.
at the top there. A little bit of a stagger as well. Remember,
That's
USA
good.
sink
Really
ones
good,
in
Leah.
behind.
Good sweep.
Nice shot.
Tough for Canada to get to.
Very tough.
Okay. Peel.
I think in all 3 of the games we've seen so far, late ends, the team that has the hammer advantage has actually had a flashed peel at some point. So might just be a little bit about settling the nerves for these young players, taking a deep breath, an extra second in the hack.
Pretty close. Not quite.
Another centimeter of curl even, and she makes contact with something back there. Really close for Abby.
Yep.
So I'm going to replace the guard here, USA. When's the correct time to make a move?
I held back.
I don't know if there's no hard and fast rule. It depends a little bit on the situation up front here.
Take a look. Take a look.
Because there are those 2 essentially guards, even though one's a red one up front.
Yep, hard. Big guys, hard.
This
hard
one
circle. You got
one
it.
more guard here, if they can get this one over, I think is a great call, and then maybe coming around on Kate's first, but that's pretty unfortunate miss there.
26. What time was that?
Just shy of the tartan hog line. Well, it's going to make things a lot easier for Canada.
Maybe trying a little too hard to keep that separation for Leah.
Yep. Forward. Forward.
Still-
Makes the peel.
Yeah, still leaves that red one up there though, which can be used as a guard for Team USA.
They call a timeout.
Okay.
Pretty short walk for the coach.
Do you think we freeze on the top, the red?
No, you
Gotta come
wanna
under?
you gotta come around the red one, back button, back 4 foot someplace.
You don't have a guard right now.
No.
Okay.
You gotta
Like here?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay. Even.
I mean,
Okay.
because if she comes down and freezes on you, you can get on top of her again.
So to make enough room that we can get on
Yeah,
top of it.
right.
It's like half on the 4 foot? Fully
Yeah.
buried?
Fully buried. Most
Okay.
important, so she can't run it. You got to create some separation.
Okay, so we play here. They play here, we play here.
That's good. Okay.
Oops. Okay.
Like there.
Good information there from Coach Bill Rhyme. Makes a good point to try to bring this one a little bit deeper behind the tee line. First of all, it makes the run back harder, but if Selena actually does make the run back and sticks it there, then they might have a rock that they can freeze to behind the tee line.
Also might be a little easier to actually get it fully buried.
Especially
deeper.
with how tight that is. Absolutely.
We don't have anybody next to us.
You've got a little wiggle room.
95.
Yeah.
For back button.
I get 90, 95.
I think we might need 90. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
That's good. Slight finish. Line's good. Well, it's a little soft.
Down.
8. Line's okay. Where?
6.
Coming. Yep. 6. Line's fine. We don't leave.
6.
Yep, Becca. Yep. Yep, hard. Hard, guys. Hard, Bex. Hard, Bex. All the way.
Get a very
Hard as far back as
go,
they'll go.
go.
Hard every inch. Hard, hard, hard.
Not able to bring it
Who'd you have?
very deep at all.
94, I had a 409. 409 sounds better.
Easy?
Okay. Or closer.
I did try to finish.
You've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it.
Probably getting a little slower through the middle there, later ends of the game of an evening draw. It's not gliding quite as nicely.
Yeah. I'm not carrying it as far either.
To make the hit here, would you ever consider flashing the red, or is that too risky?
I got a 15-8 on that. Or 15
It- No, I don't mind that at all. You can kind of get rid of everything that way. By playing the hit this way, you know you're always leaving her something to come behind. You will have a short run back, but it's still a run back by playing that slash that you mentioned. You can hit it anywhere high side really and lose everything, and then there are no guards on that side anymore in the middle. They're forced to come around a high corner guard instead.
Whoa. Close. Whoa. Down.
Clean. Close.
Yep.
Whoa. No.
You're good.
Trying to leave this
Cool.
on the center line, so the
What was it?
USA can't make the same draw, but they can make it on the out turn.
It's definitely still there.
Even back 8's not bad. Just so it's
And so if
fully
they make a good one here, she might be forced to actually make a run back.
A run back or a tap, depending on where Team USA stops. She goes all the way into the back of the 8-foot. You can see Team Canada probably choose just a tap.
The tap very too full.
Let me know when I can go on it.
One last look at Kate's percentages for this game. She's really had quite a good game. Making some key shots along the way. Need one more from her here.
Not much finish. Hair tight. Where?
8.
Needs 3 shots
A little
to
slow, guys.
Wave's really good.
Yep.
this game's over right here.
Yes, line.
Yes,
Yes. Hard line.
Wave's all there.
Yes, okay. Line's okay.
Sounds pretty close.
Lexi's rock. Yep, Lex, gotta go.
A little bit of room
Yep,
on the Reds, not just trying to drag it, just trying to get it buried. That is a pretty good draw. Back 8. Now the question, do you follow the draw? Play the tap? Just showing the way here, US. Call's been made.
Selena picked that shot pretty quickly. Seemed like she knew right away what she wanted to throw, and that's a great sign as a skip to have that confidence.
Yeah. I like 14-7.
71% on her draws. Today we
I think
saw her
this is
come
good
up a little
pop here.
heavy.
I think so too. Like I really like 14-7.
Maybe the first half of the game. Looking a little more solid. The latter stages. Now last stone, 10th end for the win.
Good team. Really close. Close.
Up to the sweepers now.
Team backing.
They don't seem to want to sweep it.
Close. We're like good team.
Good tee.
Kate, if anyone.
Keeping the brushes just barely down.
Make sure, guys.
Looking
Make sure,
pretty,
can't hurt
pretty
it.
comfortable with it. And that will end up on the 4-foot clutch draw by the skipper. never in doubt that one. Very much in control. Kept her nerves, kept her cool. And Canada will pick up a W here on USA. Final score, 7-6.
Oh, sorry, Bucks. Didn't realize there was one more down there.
What? It's Q1. It's no.
Some very pleased home fans.
Sorry. I was just shocked. Sorry.
Family and friends. Of course, a bit of pressure to represent the Maple Leafs, especially at home.
The rocks in like those 4 piles.
Canadian teams always expected to excel and medal at
right.
any championship they participate in.
You're like, make sure. And I was like, I know we're okay, but I might as well.
Can be tough to carry that pressure at junior age.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending Draw 4 of the World Junior Curling Championship. We hope to see you back here tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. for Draw 5.
Sixth end.
Okay.
Last one for USA. Fantastic hole tap here. Is able to keep the back yellow to score 3.
I like to force them, though. I like to force them to have the hammer.
In the 7th, there was a chance for Canada to score 3 right back. Perfect draw by Selena Sturme. Now Canada in the lead. As we jump across to the 10th end. A draw made by Kate Flannery to the back 8. Leaves Canada to follow. No problems. 4-foot draw and the win for the Canadians. 7-6 final score. Looking around the arena this evening in the second session of the women's competition. Russia picking up a win on Japan 7-4. Korea beating Scotland 11-3. 11-6 for Switzerland as they played Norway, while China hammered Sweden 12-1. So those are the teams and how they stack up in this round-robin pool. China, Russia, Switzerland on top with 2 wins. Canada, Korea, Scotland and USA to follow on a 1-1 record. Japan, Norway and Sweden still to pick up a win so far this week. We should have our winning skip down in the mix zone.
All yours.
Selena, congratulations on your win out there. You have some pretty experienced players there with you. Your second Kate, fifth Carly, and your coach Amanda Dawn's been at the Worlds a few times. How does that experience help you as a first-time skip here?
Yeah, I think all of them bring great insight to the team and kind of tell us what to expect coming into the event and before every game. And they know how to, I guess, deal with play on the world stage. So they've definitely been a great help.
I'm sure that experience helped you bounce back after your loss to Scotland this morning. What did you talk about as a team to help regroup for tonight's game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we wanted to focus on was just catching onto the ice early and capitalizing on mistakes, which I think we did a fairly good job of this game.
and it seemed like you had a good grasp on the ice. You knew exactly what to do on that last draw of the game. Walk us through that clutch shot by you and your team.
Yeah, so we practice it all the time. Really, in a tight game, all you can expect is to be left a piece of the forefoot for a draw. So pretty comfortable in that situation, and we all knew the time that we needed, and the sweepers swept it really well. So yeah, it's a great shot.
Awesome, congratulations, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
A happy camper there. We'll have more curling tomorrow. More women's curling, 2 o'clock local time here in Nova Scotia. Norway will play Sweden, so stay tuned for more curling action here on World Curling TV. Thanks for watching.
Oh, yep. Nice shot.